Good evening and welcome to Spaced Out Radio tonight. My name is Dave Scott. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. We really do appreciate earning your listening ears tonight as we go into the forests of Connecticut talking Sasquatch. Yes, our good friend Chris Reinhardt is back, and we are going to get into some major sightings and weird encounters that have happened throughout the summer since Chris was last on the show. Before we bring him on, let's say hello to everyone in our chat room. Race fan in the gold medal position. Luscious Jules taking home a rare silver. Jack Clark with the bronze. Hello, gorgeous Cosmic Fleur. Stunning Steph Dickey. Good to see you. Grandpa Holland, how are you? And it's always a pleasure to have you here. As we scroll on down, there's our man Nicola. There's Simon Wales. Give us a wave. Simon, by the way, will be signing autographs after the show. Line up to the left of the studio, if you don't mind, to the left of the studio. There's Sonny, a.k.a. Dave Jr. How you doing, buddy? The gorgeous Anne Celine, thank you for joining us tonight. And there is the stunning Lala B. Nice to have you back as we continue on with roll call tonight here. Bacon me happy. Yes, bacon makes everybody happy and just makes life a little better. Downshift, nice to see you. There's the gorgeous Tammy Finnegan. How are you? Ronald Penton is here. The Ronald Penton. And we continue on. There's gorgeous Tammy Finnegan, John Swan, Stephen Edmond, James Horn, Jeffrey DeRuin. Good to have you all here. Goober Bear is here. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Mama Susan. How are you? As we continue on, Davey Crotchkick is here. He'll be signing autographs after the show as well. No crotch kicking if you want him to sign in permanent Sharpie. Snakes on a UFO. Good to have you here, buddy. Nice to see you. There's my man, Ben from UFO Garage. Yes, he is the spirit of my beard. Love you, Ben. Hey, I need to call you tomorrow about something. I got confused. Maybe you can help me out. Open-minded clarity. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Oldie, how you doing, man? Mr. Lurks-a-Lot. The gorgeous Laura Elizabeth has returned. Mennonite Abe, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Richard Elmore, Millennium, good to see you guys. The gorgeous Samantha Hazelwood Gray has returned. There she is. There's a nice little note from our man Millennium as well. And who else we got? Todd Purden, Fidgety Aura, Spooky Morales, the newest wrench. There he is, everyone. Little Mikey Rainbows. There he is. We love him. We love that guy. That's one of my best friends right there. And I know why he's here. We're doing some Sasquatching tonight, buddy. That's just for you, Mikey. Tonight's dedicated just for you. Logan L., how you doing, bud? Good to see you. And who else we got? The lovely Jeanette Sanchez has returned. The gorgeous Jessica McCreary, some of the nicest hair in our chat room. Misty Rain, welcome to our chat room on SOR. We really appreciate it. The gorgeous Oracles and Beyond. Fapster, how you doing, buddy? And you know what? You teach them wrenches a lesson, buddy. Night Gazer, good to see you. As we continue on, there's gorgeous Michelle C. from Australia. And there's Sensational Sherry. Hey, Lee, how are you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Eris Manna, thanks for coming on in. And there we go. Downshift, I'm wearing a hat that has his last name. Connecticut, Mountain, Sasquatch, or Berkshire? Acreon, hey, good to see you, man. Thanks for coming on in. Hey, sweet Donnie D, the gorgeous Helena. Who's your Geode? How you doing, man? Good to see you. It's been a while. And who else do we have? Sensational Sherry and the gorgeous Jan has returned. Yes, she walks in with pomp and circumstance. The Lip Blade, Lou Montez. There he is. Right there, $5,900. Digger Dog, good to see you. The gorgeous Jenny, nice to have you here. Dirt Road, you're looking lovely tonight. This gorgeous, thin Lizzie Borden. I had a chat with her. Her husband, amazing beard. It's an amazing beard. Aiden Wolf, good to have you here. Thank you for coming in. Hi, Jose. Kronos, Obi Flett, good to see you all. We're probably going to run out of time here. Oh, goodness, I forgot to start the radio side. That's kind of important. Roy the Boy. And who else do we have here? Owner, nice to see you. Joshua S., thanks for coming on in. And Tessa, looking lovely tonight. And I think we're caught up. Yep. We are caught up. Super chats are open. It's a great way to support what we do on this show on a nightly basis. You could also do some shopping on our website, spacedoutradio.com. Check it on out. Get your swag today. Let's get the horns up and rock to Bumblefoot right now. From the mountains of central British Columbia to you listening around the world, this, my friends, is Spaced Out Radio. I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters. We welcome you to tonight's show on our terrestrial affiliates around North America, digitally on TalkStream Live, Revolution Radio, and KPNL. All of our archives are free by going to youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Just do old Davey the favor. Hit that subscribe button. You can follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and on Instagram, Spaced Out Radio Show. Our website is spacedoutradio.com. We have a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot, read up on Shirky Poo's Newswire, and check out our swag as well. Tonight's show is brought to you by Chive Charities. Help make the world 10% happier by visiting Chive Charities today. You can find them on our website. We're going deep into the forests of Connecticut, where Chris Reinhardt leads Discover Sasquatch Investigations in the state, as well as New England and Missouri. He was born in a small town in North Western Connecticut. He enjoys picnics, parades, Little League baseball, going to church on Sundays. But the real love on this planet, if he could do it full time, is investigating Sasquatch. Why not? This man has had close encounters, weird encounters, strange encounters, and his attitude towards the creature is now starting to change. How interesting is that? We're going to find out tonight. Mr. Chris Reinhardt, always a pleasure to have you on Spaced Out Radio, my friend. How you doing?
I'm doing very well, Dave, and thank you for having us, and hello to everybody in the chat.
That is a beautiful New York Yankees hat you were wearing tonight.
Yes, sir, just for you. I'm a Boston fan, but for you tonight, I wear the Yankees.
I appreciate that. You know, don't let the other Boston fans know. They will hang you.
That's all right. It's all good.
How did you fall in love with Sasquatch?
Sasquatch, with me, it all started when we got rid of cable TV. When I was a kid, I'll get in a little bit. When we got rid of cable TV, I was introduced to YouTube on a 24-hour basis. And I would, I'm not a computer guy. And I was always into the phenomenon of the Sasquatch, and I would watch all the shows as a kid and all that. And all of a sudden, so I typed in Bigfoot, and then all of a sudden that whole world just opened right up. And I didn't even know it was a thing. Honest to God, Dave, I didn't know people were actually in the woods looking for these guys or actually researching. I just thought it was the people you seen on TV all the time, and they'd run an hour special here and there. And that's all I thought it was. So I did a lot of research. I started following a few guys, and I'm like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. And 6 years now later, I haven't stopped. And I've gone from my phone and a notebook to a studio and a podcast and researching 24/7.
Well, for you, how did you get addicted to this? What was the addiction part?
When I had my first experience, you get that when you get bit by the bug, when you know that they're real, that's all, you're all done. You're done. It changes everything. Changes the way you look at everything that you've ever known in your life. And that's how I got bit by the bug, was my first interaction.
So for people who may not have heard of your story before, what was that first interaction? What happened there?
I was involved in a project in Missouri, and I was actually, we got there the first night and we found a trackway, and it was very cool. We found the trackway, we casted it, we went back to the campsite, and then we got dinner, got the camp. So we just got there, we got the camp all set up, and we headed back to the lake, and one of the members of the team was there, and he had a FLIR camera. And about halfway between our campsite and where we found the trackway, there was a head. He was popping up in the creek and looking at us, and then he'd go, boom. It was like quick. It was like, snap your fingers, gone. Head would come up, boom, bam, gone. And then I'm thinking to myself, I was a believer, but I didn't think this was going to happen. You know what I mean? I didn't think we were going to have this interaction or actually being able to see one. So that lasted for about half hour, 45 minutes. We went back down to, popped up all the tracks. We got back to the campsite. Sat down, we looked at the prints. They're all juvenile prints. They're beautiful, beautiful casted prints. And so we went to bed, and I'm sleeping in the bed, and I got woken up, and I heard footsteps coming towards our tent. And it took about 15 minutes for it to travel, I would say probably a distance of 20 yards. It was like step by step, like you were creeping on something. I'm getting look at my hair on my arm just starting to stick up right now. Think of it. And then all of a sudden it's by the side of the tent where my head is. Right there. We had the rain gear off. If I looked up, I would have seen whatever was there. I couldn't do it. I couldn't look up. So it came down to me and on the side of my face and it went, oh, just like that. And I felt the breath on the side of my cheek. I
Oh,
mean, look at my hair on my arms right now from just sticking straight up. And after that, the next night, we've seen one go between two trees for about 10 minutes, throwing stuff at us. And ever since that first trip to Missouri, I have been hook, line, and sinker. And I'm way down the rabbit hole now, as they would say.
how do you keep your composure when you can feel the breath of a Sasquatch on you?
Oh, I shook for about 20 minutes. Shook. I was standing in the middle of the tent, and the guy that I was with woke up and shined the light on me. And he said I was white as a ghost. And he's like, what happened? Well, what happened? I said, you're not going to believe what just happened. And I told him the story right over. And he's like, how come you didn't wake me up? I said, I couldn't wait. I couldn't even move. I was shaking. I mean, this was how I was introduced to Sasquatch. Just wasn't looking for sticks in the woods. All of a sudden I'm here in Missouri in the Ozark Mountains in the middle of nowhere, and they're breathing on the side of my face. So, it took a while to get my composure. The nighttime for me is still a little hard, but it's a lot better than it was when I first started. I mean, just knowing that these guys are 10 feet away from you, being able to see them on the FLIR cameras, it's just a game changer. And the stuff that's happened since, uh, well, I'm sure we'll get into it, that it's just going to blow your guys' mind. And what happened this last summer, eh, I still can't grasp it. And it was the craziest experience of my entire life. I went from a flesh and blood believer to, I don't know where I'm at now, but there's something special about these guys. They're doing something that it's going to blow all your minds. And uh
Well, you know
I'll
what?
sh-
I want to get into that a little bit later because that is not just about the experience. That's a change in your entire attitude towards this
Mhm.
creature. And the last time you and I were on together, we kind of debated that whole situation between whether or not this is a physical creature.
Right.
And we're going to get into that later in the show because I want you to have a lot of time to discuss that. Okay, because that's a real important topic for us. But for you, I mean, the addiction to trying to have these creatures and interact with these creatures has really grown over the years for you, and you've only been doing this for 6 years. But when you find a hot spot, how active is it?
I've been trading with these guys for 6 years at my hotspot straight. Um, it's gotten to the point where last summer they were following us and knocking at us when we knew we were close by, just to let us know they were following us. And we would go. We do the same hike as always. It's always the same. And in my opinion, these guys are creatures of habit. The more routine you are, the more comfortable they are. They're going to get ahead of you because they know where you're going, and they'll be able to follow you because they know where you're going. It was a whole game changer once we learned how to do that with the same pattern hike all the time. And these guys would follow us 5 years later down the road and follow us and knock on trees when we would find things, letting us know that they were right there. So it's just progressed and progressed and progressed. And I've had experiences in 7 different states so far.
How do you make contact? Because I'll be honest with you, there are times where I think I'm making contact when I'm out in the forest and I have no clue. What is your first sign of making contact in a new area?
Noticing what they're doing, the little things, the little sticks in the ground, that's a huge sign. If anybody doesn't know and looks for these, they like to stick sticks in the ground. Little tiny little sticks, big sticks. You'll find them in the middle of the forest floor, straight up and down. But you look for the little twigs that are about this big and they're stuck in the ground about half 3 inches in. That doesn't happen on its own falling out of a tree. They love to do that. We found hundreds of them. And notice the little things, notice what they do, their structures, learn what's a real structure and what's regular deadfall, because 95% of what you see on YouTube is deadfall, in my opinion. But you can tell something that's manipulated. Notice their stuff because they're watching. They are always watching. And once you start noticing their stuff, they start letting you know that they're noticing that you're noticing. You know what I mean?
Okay, I'm going to ask you just a bunch of questions here, if you don't mind, in regards to this, because I have had a couple of interactions with Sasquatch up here where I live. And my buddy Mike, who is in the chat room tonight, he's been with me to those locations. He's actually the one who found the one location when he got out of his vehicle to go to the bathroom while out hunting. And he just starts to do his business, looks down at the ground because there's nothing else to look at, and finds an 18-inch print right beside him. I mean, that's sometimes how it happens. It is a game of luck. But when you are in an area, what are you looking for to know if you're in a Sasquatch area or not?
I'm looking for those structures. I'm looking for those sticks. That's what I look for. The breaks. I'm not looking for those big, huge, monumental structures. I'm looking for the little things that they do is what we look for here. And it's worked out perfectly for us. The little tiny things. You'll find stones that are not supposed to be there. You'll find just odd things that wouldn't happen on their own. They're around. And what we do is we mark them, and then we revisit them every time we go back to the same area. And then after all in all, that's when our pattern hike gets established.
All right. So when you go into that area, how often are you going in?
As much as we can. When we first started at my area we called Larry's, we were going in 4 times a week. And they were coming in. I could tell you after the 5 years at Larry's, I could tell you when they were going to be there. I could tell you what months they weren't there. I could tell you how often during the summer they were going to be there. I could tell you what months they disappear in the winter. We had it all logged. We knew. I don't even go out in the winter anymore because here they're not around. They either go down farther, a little bit down south here, or they just tuck away. But I know now they come out once a month in the wintertime, at least in this area.
Do you think that they are migratory creatures?
No, I think they have a territory. I think they travel that territory, and they're always on the move. And they have different core areas, because if they habituate a core area for too long, they're gonna deplete its resources. They're gonna take all the deer. They're gonna take all the apples. They're gonna take all the food sources, and there'll be nothing left. They're smart, just like a farmer, just like a hunter. They're not going to stay in the same area for years and years, just like the fur trappers do up north. If they stay in an area too long, what happens? All the fur is gone. These guys are smart by the way they do it. They're always on the move, and that's how we believe that they do their business.
Do you believe they travel in packs?
Family units, yes. Yep. But I don't know how big of a family unit. See, we were finding 3 prints here for the 4 years. For 4 years, we found 3 prints. 2 years, we found the 2 adults. Then they had the little one. We have a print we found that was like this big.
No.
Size of a lighter. Size of a lighter when we first started. And that's when we started filing, and we've seen him progress. And he's up to a 10.5 now, which we think it's a male. And we think that he just got left by himself. I think mom and dad split, and this is his territory now. And we can get into that down the road, just the signs that we see, because we would find mom and dad's prints all the time with his. Last 2 years only been his, and pop would come in once in a while, and mom would come in once in a while. But other than that, that's it. We just kept on finding his impressions.
How big do you think their territories are? Because if you look at mountain lions, they have a territory. There's only, I believe, one male per so many square miles, and that's his territory. Then
Right.
if a bigger male comes in to challenge him, bears are somewhat the same. What about for Sasquatch?
Yeah, that's a great question, but I don't think I could answer that. I would have no idea. We have 2 areas here. We have an area called Larry's, and up the road, And that's 10 miles up the road from Larry's, is why we call it up the road, and it's joined by the same creek. We're finding the same prints there that we're finding at Larry's. So they're traveling that creek. We know they're traveling that creek now. But how much farther they're going, we haven't been able to get on anybody else's property to even try and figure that much out.
We got Chris Reinhardt here from Discover Sasquatch on Spaced Out Radio tonight. Chris, as we continue on with the Sasquatch talk, this is a creature that has affected you in more ways than just seeing and having close encounters. It's affected you as a human. It's affected you as a person, as a species on this planet. I would even go as far as saying emotionally, it's affected you. Why do you think it's hit every sense of your body and who you are?
Oh, wow. I got to remember that question for my podcast. That was a good question. It has changed me because I have seen everything in a different light. How would I explain it? I have a bond with these guys now. There's a bond. There's a trust. There's a to explain. I firmly believe that they choose who they want to interact with, who they want to get close with. There's not many people that can go to 7 different states and have interactions with these guys. There's just not heard of. It's just not done. I know a few other people that do it. And a lot of my friends who have them come into their house, they had that trust. It's a bond. You get a bond with these guys, and you grow. You're sad when they're not around, and when they're around and you find their stuff and you know that they've been in a place, it just changes your attitude. You're more happy. And yeah, it affects all your emotions. It's your fear, and yeah, everything. It's a really special feeling, that knowing that you can experience this.
See, my buddy Mike and I, when we would go up to our Sasquatch gifting site, we'd always park in the same spot.
Mhm.
And there was this one tree branch that kind of hung down, and it always touched the windshield. I was always make sure that that branch was touching my windshield. I don't know why. I just felt like I needed to do it. And the last time that we were there before the forest fires happened, Mike and I were standing around. We go down to our gifting site, which is probably 150, 200 feet into the forest, and nothing has moved. Nothing. We'd been waiting the entire winter for the snow to melt to get out there. And it's so disappointing when you get back there and everything is the same.
Right.
It's heartbreaking. It really is heartbreaking. All right. And I want to just say this, man, that we're standing up by my vehicle. We're just kind of hanging around. And all of a sudden, you hear the clang of 2 rocks right in front of our truck. I'd never had a rock thrown at me before, right? I never had a rock thrown at me before. And Mike and I started looking around because literally we were about to hop in the vehicle. And we didn't see which direction it came from. We don't know where the rock went. We didn't see anything. And we waited there about another half an hour trying to call it in and talking to it, saying, "Hey, like, come down and say hello." Nothing. Nothing. Now, we probably didn't give it as much time as we should have, but it was just weird. Like, 1 rock. I thought we'd get another couple more rocks, and, it was just weird, man.
Mm. Yeah, I love it. That's my favorite part of the whole deal, is when they throw the rocks at you. I think that they're playing with you. I think they just want to see your reaction, because if they want to hit you, they're going to hit you. We've had huge stones thrown at us and not even come close. I mean, they're accurate. That's my favorite part of the whole deal, is when they throw the stones, and we've had multiple stones thrown at us. We've caught many on tape. Everything I'm going to talk about tonight, to everybody in the chat and who's watching, is you can find on my channel on Discover Sasquatch on YouTube. We have it all logged, and you can go down there and check it all out. Everything that I tell you is caught, almost 99.9% of it. But everything I tell you tonight and I talk about is on our channel, and you can check it all out.
Right on. Right on. So for you, So we got about 2.5 minutes before we have to go to break here at the bottom of the hour. For you, considering yourself a Sasquatch researcher, when you're around people and you tell them what you do, what's the reaction you get?
A lot of actually it's a lot of mix because I have a good circle of friends and they all stand behind me and Maria, my significant other, she stands behind me. My boss at work stands behind me. There's a lot of people that stand beside me, but there are people that look at you like you're crazy. And my main goal now is awareness to bring to the general public because once we get back from break, I'll tell you a story that concerns me about not people not being aware that these creatures are not recognized as real, and it'll hopefully change a few people's minds.
Right on, man. Right on. For you, you still get the buzz, you still get the thrill.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, every time it keeps on getting better.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's progressing.
So when you're out there, are you getting interaction every time? Or is it once every 3 times, once every 5 times? What's it like?
I would say it's probably 1 out of 3 times. And it depends on where they are. If they're there, they're going to interact with us. Um, if they're not, I know they're either down the road a bit. We only go to 3 spots, so I believe they're all 3 of them are the same guys because I use the same whistle to tell them I'm coming, and I believe it's the same family unit that's we're interacting with in different places.
But it's patterns. It's
Yes.
always patterns. You do everything the
Always.
same. So, for instance, if you went in there with a cologne on, would you go back there with that cologne on if you had interaction with them?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. No, the clone doesn't bother anything. I went in with 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago. I brought 3 new people into my area, and we had a 25-minute interaction. That's going to blow your guys' mind when I tell you about this. And multiple rock throws, and they don't know these guys. Never met them. Never seen them. Just knew me, and they came right in and let us know they were there, and we were surrounded. It was awesome.
It
Awesome.
is awesome. It is
It
awesome.
was.
I cannot wait for you to share your stories, man. I really cannot wait because I mean, since the last time you were on, the entire phenomena has changed for our guest tonight, Chris Reinhardt. And I love it. I love it because it really goes to show that you can think one thing, you can believe one thing, but the evidence may show you differently and change your entire look at the entire phenomena. And that's what's happened here. And this is why we're talking to Chris Reinhardt tonight from Discover Sasquatch. Make sure you go to his YouTube channel and hit subscribe. Sasquatch Talk all night long on the mighty SOR. This is what it's all about. Go out in the forest. See if you can find yourself a mugwump. We'll be back on Spaced Out Radio right after this. All right, we're clear. Hi, Midwest Flash, Abandoned Explorers. How are you? Hey, Ron, number 2. And who else do we have here? PBR, my man. PBR, are you back on the Aqua Velva? Because your first comment of the night proves that you are. If we're gonna snark like that, I'm gonna snark you right back, dude. I'm gonna do that. You know I'm gonna do that. I love you, but you know I'm gonna do that. So come on back in, okay? Sit your tushy down on the seat and enjoy the show. Hi, Eva. Jurassic Joey, good to see you. Sorry, man. Sorry, people in our audience. I'm on a roll after last night with YJ. I'm on a roll right now. I am on a roll. So, BBD Warrior, what's happening? The gorgeous and talented Purpose and Grace. Johnny Half, or Half a Johnny, whatever you want to call him. He likes it. Dirty Filth, good to see you. Can't even spell boils. The gorgeous L. Pepper. Our little Red Deer Rebel, the gorgeous DM. Julio Avalos, What's happening? It's good times, man. Good times. You got to get up here. Sovereign, I'll make the call on the mods. You don't get to make the call on the mods. Okay? And when I got trolls happening, my mods are chosen by me. So they're good people. So thank you. Roy Boy, what's happening? I had one of my listeners call me a liar last night. So
nice.
I'm a little bit still on edge about that.
Well, that ain't right.
Yeah.
You're a little breaky. You're coming in and out a little bit.
Am I? That's because
Yeah.
I'm moving around.
All right. So I just letting you know.
Appreciate that.
What the hell are they calling you a liar for?
Just saying that for some reason on my StreamYard chat that I see in the YouTube, I never get this guy's questions. And apparently he asked 7 questions last night, and I never saw any of them. Not a one. So he decided, saying that I had an issue with him, and started right near the end of the show kind of snarking at me in the chat room about it, that I was ignoring him and that I only took questions if people donated to the super chat, which is not true. And kind of went from there. And then the verbal brawl was on. But the thing is, like, being the show host, I'll always get the final word.
Right. It's your show.
Exactly. I don't care. We can talk all night. I will get the final word.
Right.
One of the two. But A Carfunibre V from Argentina. Very cool. Very cool. Welcome to SOR chat. Welcome. So I don't like that.
No, I don't blame you. I have very good moderators too. I got 3 of them and they're really awesome people, and I haven't had any problems yet.
The Midnight Rider, welcome to the channel, and thank you for understanding. Yeah. Noble Patrick, what's happening? And yeah. Plus, the other thing too, I normally don't like having a lot of wrenches, but I had to bring them in because every few months, and you'll notice this on your channel if you go live, you will get absolutely smoked by real racist type bots that say just some really disgusting things.
Yep.
And you got to clear them right off. You just got to clear them, and you can't do it on your own. You need the help of the wrenches, right?
Yep.
But you never know when it's going to happen, so you might as well have the wrenches there. You know, so
yeah, they're great. They're faithful to me. They stick with me everything I do, and so I take care of them too. So it all works out good.
Yeah, we got about 45 seconds.
All right.
I'm gonna open it. It's hot in here. Hold on.
All right.
All right, I want to say a big thank you to Cat Chaser, Snakes on a UFO, Misty, and Ben for the super chats. It's a great way to support what we do on this show on a nightly basis. Hello, gorgeous Thin Lizzie, and your husband's beard. And yeah. All right. Yeah, let's do this. Here we go. Second half hour of Spaced Out Radio is underway tonight. My name is Dave Scott. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. We really do appreciate earning your listening ears. Want to remind you that if you've missed portions of this show or others, check out our free archives by going to youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do old Davey the favor, hit that subscribe button. Our website is spacedoutradio.com. We have a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot. Read up on Shirky Poo's Newswire. And, of course, check out our swag as well. Follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and on Instagram, Spaced Out Radio Show. We continue on tonight with Chris Reinhardt. We are talking Sasquatch all night long. His YouTube channel, Discover Sasquatch, and he's got some good evidence to show us and some stories that he's going to share. Chris, welcome back.
Glad to be back.
Me too, man. Me too. How was your year of 2021 in looking for Sasquatch?
2021 was tough. I last October I came out of one of our areas and my retina detached for no known reason, and I battled that for 7 months. I had trips planned to go to Florida in April to the Green Swamp and getting back into my areas, and I couldn't do any of it until July. But from July to now has been totally awesome. Couldn't ask for anything more. It made up for all them months missed. So yeah, it's been pretty good. So half was not so good, half was so good.
All right, I want to get into this right now and spend some serious time on this story. You had an encounter down in Florida this year that absolutely blew your mind. Now, when you were on this show a number of months ago, probably 6, 7 months ago, and we started talking Sasquatch, I was really impressed with your candor. You were leaning towards this creature being some sort of animal or creature, flesh and blood creature, and then Florida happened. So let's go back before the Florida incident. What was your take on what this creature was?
So before Florida, I knew they were smarter than an ape. They were organized. They're just well rounded in what they do. They're meant to stay hidden. They stay hidden. They're meant to not interact with humans, and they keep up. I think most of the interactions people get with them are by mistake. It's a car drive by, or they come around the corner and they're in the same hunting area as they are. I mean, most of those interactions is what people report. There's not a lot of people that go out looking for these guys that can zero in on them and get to interact with them. So where was I going with that?
Okay.
So that's where I thought they're just smart, well-rounded, and yeah, if they're meant to interact with you, you're going to interact with them. That's how I was feeling beforehand. Now, Florida happened, and they know who you are. They know before you're there. They know so much. If it's them, and we'll get into that. If it's them, it could be something totally else. But what I'm about to share with you in Florida was a life-changing moment for me, because it still scares me to now what happened.
Okay, so take us to this trek in Florida. What were you heading down there for?
So I have a buddy named Chris Connor, and he's his channel is called The Trail to Bigfoot, and he's on YouTube also. And we had a trip planned in April to go down to the Green Swamp. We had all these plans. We've been talking for a couple months, and then my eye went shoddy. So we had to reschedule it for July. And July is hot in Florida. Florida swamp, let me tell you. I have a new respect for the people that research in the swamp. It is not user friendly. Everything in that place can kill you. Literally. I mean, even if you trip and fall on one of those, I forgot what they call them, that stick out of the swamp grounds, those spiky, they'll penetrate your back right through your chest and you're dead. Snakes, spiders, everything. It's not a user friendly place. So anyways, we head down there to July. We got these plans. I started using pheromone chips because flesh and blood, pheromones are going to attract them. There's a company that makes them, and I've seen some researchers have used them and gotten great results. So I sent them down on Florida. We're going to use them. And then we just started, everybody uses EMF meters. We decided to use radio frequency meters, radioactivity, microwaves, hunch. And we got the hunch by watching what's going on at Skinwalker Ranch right now. They're using RF meters, and they're getting huge, huge results out there. The scientists of radio frequency coming out of the ground out there, the things that they're experiencing, they're getting burnt by microwaves. It's just, so we decided to use the pheromones and the radio frequency and to see if these guys are emitting it, because we have multiple people experience problems with their phones while they're in the woods. Cameras go blinky. Can't get a good photo of these guys. Radio frequency makes sense. First day we're in the swamp. We get to his area. He's got a gifting area he's been at for 6 years. We get to his area. He hasn't been back in his area for a year and a half because his partner had an episode too. If you want to go see it, you can see it on his channel on the Trail to Bigfoot. And actually, Carrie Arnold on Bigfoot Odyssey did an interview with Mark about what happened to him. And if you guys want to find out about that, you can research a little bit. But so Chris hasn't been in the woods for a year and a half. We get to his gifting area. We put up a pheromone chip. We turn on the meters. No lie. These guys were following us all the way in. All of a sudden, the stones start coming in. What does that RF meter do? That RF meter tops out. Tops out. Stones are coming in. RF meter is blaring. We wrote a letter. This was the first out of 2 times that this happened. We wrote a letter after asking the company, what does it mean when your meter tops out? And they wrote back to us, it just doesn't go any higher. They wouldn't tell us what the readings were. Well, we did a little research. It's like 2 microwave ovens running at the same time with the door open in the middle of the green swamp, hitting us for, 2 minutes while these rocks are coming in on us. Don't know what's going on. It was a crazy situation. It's all happening around us. We can hear them walking. So Chris decides that he goes off and he comes back on the side. And as his sister and I are sitting there by his gifting area, and he's off in the woods, and we hear something like a knock. It was like a knock. Chris heard something next to him, and it's recorded on his recording. It sounded like a squish. It wasn't even a knock. We heard a knock. He heard something else and recorded it, and we're only 30 feet apart. We're hearing 2 different things 30 feet apart while these meters are going. So and then we go in deeper, and that meter keeps on going, and there's a lot of stuff that's going on in between that. So we get back that day, and now we're going back in the second day. He wants to take me into this area they call it it's the strange area. It's where the really freaky stuff happens. So we get in there, and he says, this is the area I told you about. I can ask for the knocks. So what does he do? We get down, we cross this creek, we get into this creek, and he sits there and he talks to the woods and he asks for the knock. What does he get? He gets the knock. I think I got the video right here somewhere. I could pull it up. Yeah, Chris, you want to hear it?
Yeah, we can play it. What you have to do is on the StreamYard system is go down to the bottom, hit share from your screen.
Yeah, I got to find my mouse. Here we are. Video file.
So people on our radio side, you can check this out on the archives by going to our YouTube channel and bringing up the Discover Sasquatch interview with Chris Reinhardt tonight.
All right, just let me get to the right file here. Where is it? There it is. Chris asks, where is it? So he asks, here it is. Here we go. You ready?
Yes.
Play it.
All right, let me bring it on in here.
Usually when I come here in the past, I've always gotten a knock when I asked for it. So just to say that I'm not crazy and talking to the woods, can I at least get a knock?
There it is.
There it was.
Did you hear the rock clacks before it?
Yeah. That was the knock. Yeah, I'm sure you guys all heard it.
Can we play that again?
Yeah, go ahead. Press it. You just press play.
All right, here we go.
Usually when I come here in the past, I've always gotten a knock when I asked for it. So just to say that I'm not crazy and talking to the woods, can I at least get a knock?
So what we should say here, when I pause it here, You're going to hear a bunch of clanging together that sounds like rocks.
Yep.
And then you're going to hear one swat of a stick that almost sounds like it's on bamboo or something.
Yep. It's
And
on the palm frond trees. That's what they hit.
Okay, so this is what we're going to hear.
There it is.
There it was.
It is a little faint, but that is pretty incredible. Now,
Right.
for people who aren't there and people who are a little bit skeptical, it's easy to say, that could be a bird like a woodpecker banging its beak against a piece of wood looking for bugs and food. How do we know it wasn't that and that it was rocks?
Right. Yeah. No, I was right there. It's unmistakable. I mean, people can think whatever they want. I'm not here to make thousands of dollars off of what I'm telling you guys tonight or anything, but that's what that was. Those were rock clacks. And we got EVPs when we crossed that brook to go into that place. We got a southern draw and it goes, "Hey, it's Creus." And I got that right here too, if you want to hear it.
Yeah, play it if you want.
Oh yeah. I got this all here. It was the
Oh, goodness. I accidentally just booted Chris from the studio. Darn it. Chris, you're going to have to reconnect with me here. And boy, did I just make a rookie error there. So while we're waiting for Chris to hop on back in here because of my silly error there. All right. What do you think? Did that sound like woodpeckers? Did it sound like rocks? I'm curious. To me, it went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2. Yeah, there he is. That was my fault, my friend. That was my fault.
That's all good. It's all good. All right, I'm going to share the EVP. Now, I don't believe anymore that these are EVPs of spirits. I believe these are the Sasquatch that are communicating underneath our ears. Let me see, where is it? All right, here it is.
All right, let's add this to the stream. Here we go.
What you got? You're in it now.
You hear it? Hey, it's Creus.
Right at the end there.
And that's his name. Right at the end.
Wow. Let's play that again for our audience.
Yeah, go ahead.
Here we go.
What you got? You're in it now.
Yeah, you could just faintly hear that. Hey, it's Chris.
Yeah. I got another recording. Maybe it'll be better here. Let me share that one. But now we didn't find this until after we reviewed, obviously. We didn't hear this with our own ears.
Right.
There it is. This is the better version, I think.
All right, let's try this one.
What you got? You're in it now.
Yeah, you can hear it a lot clearer there.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Chris.
Yeah. And a southern draw is like, hey, it's Creus. So we're in that spot. He asks for the knock, right? All of a sudden his phone starts going crazy. Trying to get into all his personal, it's like scanning his phone. Trying to get in all his work stuff, his bank account, his Walgreens pharmacy account. And he looks at me and says, "What's your phone doing?" I said, "My phone's not doing anything. I just got a new 5G phone before I got down there." So I look at my phone and I didn't do nothing. I pull up my text messages and there's a text message from me typing somebody that we were supposed to meet up with down there, but it was me typing and it was 4 initials. It was B, B, M, and C. 60 lines of it. BBMC. So we figured butt dial. In my pocket, BBMC for some strange reason, butt dialed. We erased it all but 12 lines. We get back to the apartment that night. I take a shower. I get out of the shower. I check my phone. What is back on my text messages? BBMC again, but now it's in capital letters, dots, spaces, line changes. No possible way it could happen in my pocket.
Now, is there cell service where you are when you're in the swamps like that?
No, we're in the middle of the green swamp. We're 3 miles in this day, in the middle of nowhere. So we don't know. We can't figure out what it is. So he calls his wife over, and his wife, and she comes over. He's like, do you understand this? She goes, yeah, I know exactly what that is. And me and Chris look at each other. What? She goes, yeah, Mark, Betty, Beata, and Chris, the 4 people that have spent the last 6 years in that swamp looking for these guys, their first 4 initials on my phone. That changed everything right there for me that day. Meanwhile, that meter is screaming again in that spot. Radioactivity way beyond what should be in the middle of the green swamp.
I like Fuster's comment here. Hi, Fuster on Twitch. Maybe Bigfoot has been using 5G all the time.
Again, I cannot say if it is Bigfoot. It's something, but it happened here in Connecticut 3 weeks ago.
What happened?
The meter, the phone's going crazy, the rock throws, all caught here, 1,000 miles away. 3 new people.
Any new text messages?
No text messages, but it tried to get in the guy's phone from Massachusetts. Again, he had an older phone. It was trying to break into its phone, whatever it was. Couldn't get in on because everybody else had 5G phones. Yeah, I agree with you on the Twilight Zone music. It's still blowing my mind. But we should not be getting radioactivity readings of this magnitude anywhere where we go. We went and measured cell towers, microwaves, running my 5G phone with, we did every test possible, and nothing came close to topping out that meter anywhere. A whole cell tower didn't even radiate enough radiation for those meters to be going off like they are. And that's on my channel too. It's called An Interaction in Connecticut. You can check all that happened out here. But it was the same exact thing that happened in Florida, happened here. I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore. I mean, we had stones being thrown at us. There was something barking like at us like a dog. And it wasn't the first time I've had it at this area. About 5 years ago, we had a dog whimper noise at this area, and we thought a dog was hurt. So we went into the woods looking for the dog that was whimpering. So we figured it got hit by a car. So we get to the spot in the woods where the noise is, and all of a sudden there's nothing there. Now it's 50 feet up in front of us to our left. So we go up to the 50 feet in front of us to our left. Nothing's there now. Now it's up 50 feet in front of us to our right. My buddy tapped me on the shoulder. He goes, whatever this is, it's luring us into the woods right now. So we turn around, we go back to the logging road. We get to the logging road, we hear this, and we turn around, and all of a sudden, rock comes flying out of the woods at us and lands right in back of us. So now we're back at the same area again because my gifting area was sold, and we can't get up to my gifting rock anymore. So we decided to go back here. Now we're getting the dog barks and the dog noises at this area. And there's just a bunch of strange stuff that's been progressing towards where I stand today. The knocks are still happening. We're still catching them. The rock throws we're catching. These guys are leaving us signs like stones on flat rocks along the trail, knowing that we would notice them. It's just not human beings. Nobody knows where this spot is. There's a fire pit at the top of this area. If you go and check out the video, I actually go Facebook Live when this all happens here in Connecticut, and just to show them there's a fire pit up there, and there was all little broken twigs all around it. Hasn't been used in years. We've been going here for years too. And I go down to show my group on Facebook what it looks like with the twigs, and all of a sudden a rock hits the fireplace right when I bend down. Everybody that's watching sees it. Then the rocks start coming in from the right and then the left, and then we decide to get the meter out, and then the meter's screaming for 15 minutes. It tops out for 15 minutes. Radioactivity, microwaves. I don't know if someone can help explain this to me. I would love to hear an explanation of what's happening, because I haven't heard of anybody else in the Sasquatch community experiencing any of this stuff. And we have it all on tape. We've caught it all on tape. It's for everybody can see. You go to my channel and I have a podcast too, and it's called The Veil, and it goes through the whole Florida incident from day 1 to day 5. You can check it all out on The Veil. And the interaction that happened here in Connecticut is called An Interaction in Connecticut. It's just mind-blowing things. These guys just keep on, everything keeps on changing for me. I thought I had it, and then all of a sudden something else gets thrown in, and now we got to try and figure what's going on with this microwave stuff and the RF. And if we can get the RF thing, can we track these guys, or are they being tracked? Is the government tracking them through radio frequency? That's why it's so high when they're around. You know what I mean? Maybe they have chips in them. Who knows? It just so many doors open with this radio frequency. Radio frequency can bend light, right? Translucent hairs are often found from Bigfoot. Bending light and translucent hairs equals what? Predator camo. Shadows, like from the movie Predator. Bending light, translucent hairs, they can blend in with any environment they want. Blurry pictures, RF bends light. You can't get a clear picture if you don't have good light. Everybody knows that. That's how photos work, light. So it opens up a lot of questions again, man. It just keeps on opening and opening and never getting any answers.
Interesting, man. That is very interesting stuff.
I'm sorry if I was hollering everybody. I get a little excited when I start talking about this
You're
stuff.
fine. You're absolutely fine. And you know what? We're going to continue this conversation, because I think there's a lot more to this that we have to get into, especially the fact that you are now believing there is something different about this. It's not a monkey. It's not a great ape. It's not a gigantopithecus. It's not a wild man. It is something very extraordinary, which many indigenous people and tribes have been telling us for decades, but we just wouldn't listen. And I'm actually quite proud of the fact of you needed that experience. You needed that experience. And that's all we can really say about it, man. And we all, yeah.
And it happened again, just to let me know that it wasn't a fluke.
You got that right.
I got this stuff happening to me all the time, Dave. When I was out sick, I didn't tell everybody this. I had a ripped off coyote leg left at my back door here at my house. Maria will tell you. She looked out the back window. She's like, "What is that by the back door?" I go down to my back door. It's a coyote leg, freshly ripped off a dog.
Wow.
Laying at my back door. Well, then they were hanging around the house.
We'll get into that when we come back from the break here. Ripped off coyote legs, Sasquatch, communication. What the heck is going on? Discover Sasquatch. Chris Reinhardt is here tonight. We got it for another 90 minutes of talking Sasquatch here on Spaced Out Radio, so stay tuned. That's insane. Save that. Hi, Tracy Moore. How are you? Roy Boy, good to see you. Who else has jumped on in here? And let's see here. Stephen Sturgill, how are you? Or is it Sturgill? I think it's Sturgill. And that's all we got. Oh, hey, Clam. Zero Cool, good to have you here. Who am I missing? I better scroll up here too. Make sure I'm not missing anybody else. Philip Baca, how are you, man? All right, there we go. Jerry O'Brien, good to see you. What do you got for a password there, Clam?
trying to find the picture of the leg.
How far out does your FLIR camera go?
My FLIR is an older version. It's an HS324. It was an old
Yeah.
cop. It's an old police thing. So it doesn't go. It's more for pursuit, more close range, so they can find someone hiding in the bushes close by. But it does, I don't know, maybe 50 yards at the most.
So about 150 feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the download on FLIR is so pixelated. It's awful.
Yeah.
I need to get a new FLIR, but money's money.
Oh yeah, they're not cheap.
No, my buddy just got a brand. The Pulsars are really nice, really, really nice. If I had the money, I'd get a Pulsar. He just got one. He paid $3,000 for it. It's sweet. Downloads in 1080p. It's just incredible.
God, I'm looking online right now. There's one FLIR T540, 23,598.
Oh yeah. Of course, you can buy the military grade ones.
Oh my God.
They have FLIR has a drone that's like $30,000 that you can buy, and it flies with its latest FLIR technology and just crazy stuff.
Weird.
Yeah, because they got technology now that can lock onto the target and follow it while it's heated up. I don't understand why nobody's using this stuff. You know why? Because they can't get close to them because they won't let them. I believe you're marked. I believe they interact with who they want to, and the rest of the people, like I said earlier, the interactions are by mistake. Like yourself, you guys go to that gifting area, they're throwing rocks at you, they know you, they're interacting with you. People don't get that. Only a handful of people get that. And those are the people that get overlooked. These people that get all the money on the TV shows and everything, these guys get everything, but they don't show you nothing because they don't get anything. Boggles my mind.
What, you don't like not finding Bigfoot?
Yeah, no, I don't.
Behoff, how are you? Kaiju, nice to see you back. We got 170 people in here right now.
Yeah, they heard the freak was on.
Oumuamua, nice to have you here. Hey, if you're not in our chat room, come on in and say hello. Let us know where you're from. We'd appreciate that. And if you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, hang out with us. We're here 7 days a week for your listening entertainment.
Yeah, kudos to you, man. 7 days a week. That's a lot. I do
5. Lynn comes in for Saturday and Sunday, and she does an incredible job.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, the stuff that I'm going through right now, man, is just, it blows your mind. It's all caught on tape. I can't make this stuff up. I got it all recorded.
Well, it's like my buddy Mikey in the chat room. This is a dude who literally nothing scares him. And a few weeks ago, he got scared.
What happened?
Scared. I don't talk about it. That's his story to tell, not mine. He basically got the really bad heebie-jeebies that if he didn't get the hell out of there, something bad was going to happen.
Oh, I've had that happen.
Yeah.
Get the hell. That's not Sasquatch. That's something else.
Yeah.
That's the demons. There's demons in the woods, man. I'm telling you, I seen this shadow thing in Florida that was about 8 feet tall, very fast, and it blocked out the light on the palm fronds, man. Freaky, midday. And it was a shadow. It wasn't solid. It was crazy. Florida was
hold on 1 second, because we only got about 15 seconds. Big thank you to Cat Chaser, to Snakes, Misty, and Ben for the amazing super chats. Remember, it's a great way to support what we do on this show on a nightly basis. We really appreciate it. And shop at our store on our website as well. Here we go.
listening to Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott. Follow Dave on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and on Facebook, Spaced Out Radio Show.
Hour number 2 of Spaced Out Radio is now underway. My name is Dave Scott. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. We really do appreciate earning your listening ears wherever you are on this beautiful planet we call Earth. Want to say hello to everyone listening in on our terrestrial affiliates around North America, digitally on TalkStream Live, Revolution Radio, and KPNL. All of our archives are free. Go to youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do old Davey the favor, hit that subscribe button. The Desert Clam has set the password for tonight in the SOR Space Travelers Club. Abditive. Abditive is your password. Use it wisely, space travelers, as the clam sets the password each and every night right here on Spaced Out Radio. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to Bumblefoot and reading up on Shirky Poo's Newswire. Check out our swag as well. Follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and on Instagram, Spaced Out Radio Show. We have a brand new Twitch channel. We haven't put any video on it yet. Spaced Out Radio on Twitch as well. We bring in Chris Reinhardt from Berkshire Mountain Sasquatch. That's why I got the nice hat on. Thank you, Chris, for the hat, by the way. I really do appreciate it. I fell in love with it when you were wearing it on the last show. I'm not going to lie. But I want to just get right into it because we're talking about this amazing encounter you had in Florida that shifted your entire experience. It really goes against the grain of everything that other Sasquatch researchers are talking about. Everybody wants to believe it's a flesh and blood creature. There's somebody in British Columbia here who runs around calling it the monkey of the North American forests. I mean, there's a lot of stupid names out there for this, and yet here you are. You were one of them, and now you've changed your entire tone because of what happened in Florida. So do you think then that maybe, just maybe, that these swamps, because there's people who go missing in the swamps every year and die in the swamps, whether it's from going missing hunting and getting, turned around in the forest, in the swamps, whether it's suicide, whether it's foul play of some sort. I mean, do you think that maybe you were in a paranormal area as well as where Sasquatch was?
I don't think so. I think it's the RF. I'm 100% behind this radio frequency thing right now. Radio frequency will heat you up. How many 411 cases that you hear about their clothes are gone? They take their clothes off. Overheating. How about RF so strong that could internal combust somebody? There'll be nothing, no dust, no nothing to be found. How many accounts do you hear about that? Whatever's radiating this RF is causing the havoc in the woods, is in my opinion.
Internally, to feel yourself shift from flesh and blood creature to now unknown creature, what did that mean for you in the way you investigate?
Well, I now have a meter strapped to my chest everywhere I go. We're always checking our electronics, making sure that they're going once this all goes down. We're just keeping a closer eye on our electronics and the meters. About the only thing I'm doing different, because we always had recorders going. We always have cameras going. We always had everything going. Just making sure that everything's operational and that meter is staying at a low level. Because if you get hit with this radiation for a long period of time, it can do damage. These are microwaves. This is what cooks your food. This is, you put yourself in a Faraday box and get hit what we were getting hit with, and your hand's going to burn. You're going to get blisters. This shouldn't be happening at the top of a mountain in Connecticut. It shouldn't be happening in the green swamp in Florida. We actually are testing it in Georgia. We're testing it in West Virginia. And now we're testing it in Ohio. All these states, people have meters. We're giving them, and the only problem is you have to test it is you have to have an interaction. They have to be close to get these meter readings. If they're not close, we don't get the readings. We can't dial. It's not directional. We don't know how to zoom in on directional, but I can't say who, what, or when, but a guy who used to work for a space company here in America, we'll just put it that way, has something sitting in his barn that can detect radio frequency and has contacted us and is going to send us the instrument. So we'll be able to track the radio frequency levels in the woods and go to them.
Now, before I get to audience questions here, and there are a number, you were talking right before the break about a coyote leg freshly ripped off,
Right.
put on your back porch.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you live in the wilderness then?
Yes, I live in the northwest corner of Connecticut. We're up in almost near border of Mass. I'm surrounded by state property. This is all reservoir land. So acres and acres and acres and thousands of acres of woods.
And is there normally cryptid activity around your home?
This was the first time they came here because I was sick. My gallbladder blew out and I wasn't able to get to my gifting area. So for like, I forgot, 30 days. So one morning when we woke up, Maria looked out the back window and seen the leg by the back door. And I'm like, you know what? I bet you that's them. I bet you they came and brought that to me because I haven't been up there. And she goes, no. So 2 nights later, she's taking the groceries out of the car and a tree gets pushed over in the woods right next to our house. And she comes in the house. She goes, you go out there and you tell them right now, we have babies here and I don't want that stuff going on here. They're leaving animal parts. They're pushing over trees. They're scaring the hell out of me. Go out there and tell them to go. Tell them you'll be back there in another week. You can go back in the woods and tell them you'll see them in a week. Well, they never came back close to the house again, but in the mornings they would be knocking in the trees in the back when I would go to work. But as soon as I started going back to the gift rock, everything that was going on here stopped. And Larry's, where my gift rock is, probably 10 miles over the mountain from my house. So they traveled about 10 miles to here.
How do they find you?
I think you're marked. I honest to God I think that breath on the side of my face in Missouri was not just for shit. Whoops, sorry. $20 to the swear jar. Wasn't by chance. I think that was a mark. I think they put a mark on me and they know who I am and they're meant to come see me. That's the only explanation. And again, this is all in my opinion. I'm just a grandfather that collects baseball cards. I didn't ask for all this to happen. And, like I said, I'm not here to I'm just here for awareness. People need to be aware like that. Like I told you about that story about the dog whimpering noise a little while ago. I seen a family of 4 going hiking in that same trail. They have no idea that thing was luring us into the woods and threw rocks at us. No idea. So awareness needs to happen. People need to wake up and know that these things are walking the forest. There's creatures in the forest that are here and people need to be aware of it. And I think that's very important. Especially now all this strange stuff is going on that I can't explain or even, I don't know.
For them to find your home 10 miles away over a mountain range, that makes no logical sense.
Nope.
No logical sense.
Either does a coyote leg at your back door, either freshly ripped. I mean, there was blood on it. It was freshly, like the meat was hanging off the back of the bone. It was blood, bone. It was just, and you know what, Dave? I threw it in the woods and I came back a half hour later, showed the guys at work, and it was gone. The leg was gone. Nothing in these woods is going to take a dead coyote leg.
Okay. Do you have bears and mountain lions around that area?
We have bears, but they're domesticated bears here. They're dumpster divers. They're not killers. I mean, I have a picture on my phone of a bear that's probably about 500 pounds. And I'm sitting on right back my door right here talking on the phone. And I heard the click of his claw hit the pavement. And he was 10 feet from me. He could have easily ripped my head off. And all he wanted to do was make his way past me because it was 90 degrees out and he's fat and wanted to go lay up in the woods. That's the difference in the bears here than up where you're at. So I don't know. Something could have grabbed it, of course, but I think they took it back.
All right.
Maria everything I tell you, I have witnesses. I never go hiking alone, ever since that dog whimpering thing, never go alone.
All right. Sovereign is asking, has anyone in Florida that you know found any tree branch or bamboo Sasquatch built teepee structures?
Oh yeah, I have a bunch of friends down in Florida that are finding these structures. There's a lot of I have a lot of people that can track these guys. And you can track these guys. If you know what to look for, you can find where they're going. I don't think you can find where they're living because I don't think they'll let that happen, but you can find their stuff. But yes, I know people that find their find find their stuff down there. And actually the guy Chris Connor that I was down with is GPS in these things and learning out these are directionals, and he's being able to find the spots in the swamp, and they're pointing to each other, the path. So it's pretty neat. You should go to his channel and check it out. Chris Connor is called The Trail to Bigfoot. So yes, I have friends do it all the time that live down there. Another guy named is Jimmy. What's Jimmy's last name? But yeah, I'll have to get the comments. Leave it for Dave in the comments. I forget his last name offhand, but there's a lot of people down in Florida that do find the structures.
Gotcha. All right, let's move on to another question. Jules is asking, Chris, have you heard of any of the white Sasquatch like the one a child saw in Indiana?
I've heard many reports of the white Sasquatch. I have personally never seen one. The only one that I've ever seen other than a thermal hit was in Missouri 2 summers ago, and we had the thing going in Missouri good, and I saw the little one through the camera lens during midday, 2:00 in the afternoon. I actually got it on my computer. The hair blowing in the breeze in the air, but I've heard of the white Sasquatch, and yes. So yes.
All right, let's move on. Kaiju is asking, Chris, have you experienced electronic feedback on audio recorders as well as whiteouts on game cams?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's why we're thinking that's another the radio frequency. They don't know where those game cameras are. You know what it is? They emit our radio frequency and it's jamming them. That's why you can't get these guys. That's why they're the corrupt files. Everybody gets those corrupt files on their game cameras. Like you'll have every picture, it'll be deer, 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 deer. Then all of a sudden you'll have this space of there's pictures, but there's all corrupt. And then all of a sudden after those are done, deer, 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 deer. Just another thing that radio frequency can be pointed at. So yes, we've experienced everything. Yep. Feedback, audio, game camera, white. Yes. For sure.
All right. Fidgety Aura is asking, could it be Sasquatch modulating their infrasound to induce a sense of dread to drive you away from danger?
All right. See, now that's what everybody believes is the infrasound. See, what we're believing now, it's not infrasound at all. We're believing that it's the radio frequency. Radio frequency does the same thing to you. It'll make you get you anxious. It'll make you sick. It'll give you headaches. It'll break out in sweats like you're having anxiety attacks. So we think, and we could be wrong. Again, we are not pros, and you could be right, Fidgety Aura, 100%. It could be infrasound, but what we believe it's the RF frequency just because of the results that we're getting with the meters. That's how we base our findings on the evidence.
Okay, let's move on. Sovereign again. What if they're all demons, constantly shape-shifting and hoodwinking gullible humans?
I believe there are demons. I was just talking to Dave in the break about that. I seen a figure down in the Florida swamp that was about 8 feet tall, and it was just black. And when it went past the pom fronds were hanging like this, and this thing scooted right across it so fast. It was like a bird flight, but it was on 2 feet, and it was shoo. So I think it's the orbs. I think the orbs that the people are experiencing. I think demons can take many shapes. Again, this is only an IMO. I can't prove it. I can't say if it is or if it's not, but I believe that demons are out there, and I think the good versus evil battle is coming. It's coming very soon.
Advocate for Peace is asking, are Sasquatch a separate and distinct organism from spirits and demons, etc.? Do spirits disguise themselves as Sasquatch, or is it all inseparable?
Okay, well, I think Sasquatch are their own. I think demons can imitate whatever they want to do. I think they can imitate a Sasquatch. I think they could imitate a deer. I think they could do whatever they want. Demons are evil, evil creatures. And I think dogmen are not living creatures. I think dogmen are demons. That is my opinion. I think those are what people see are spirits of the dogmen. They are evil. Just like the Mothman. I believe the Mothman is a spirit also. Mothman and Dogman go along with destruction, and it's just yeah. So I think they could disguise themselves as a Sasquatch, but I think a Sasquatch is a whole different entity on its own. I think they've been here too long. The Native Americans have talked about them for too long. It's just they're part of what we have here on Earth.
All right, another great question from Sovereign, because you believe that you have been marked. Do you think that is a chip implant? Do you think it's something more?
I think it's just like that breath on the side of my face. I can't explain it. Maybe it's a glow that you get in your aura. I believe these guys can see your aura. I think that's how they tell good from bad. Again, I have no way to prove this, and just what I've gathered over the last few years, and especially now what's going on. Chip implants, I don't have any. I don't know of, but I don't think that. I think though that's all ET stuff. I believe in them too. I've seen a saucer from 50 yards away here in Connecticut. Maria actually seen it too. She doesn't like to talk about it because it freaked her out again. But it was about 50 yards away from us, and it was hovering over the tree line. It was a huge ship, and it was like 6 o'clock, and the sun was just going down. I'm like, Maria, what is that? And she's looking over, and she's like, it's a helicopter. I'm like, Maria, look at that. She goes, oh my God. That's exactly what she said. And she turned her head and never looked back. Crazy. So I think that's ET stuff. I don't think Sasquatch are involved with the ET at all.
All right. Jeff is asking, in your opinion, Chris, what is not being done that needs to be done to get good quality video proof of Sasquatch?
People got to start doing it right. They got to stop telling people this is what it is. And, people are taking these blob squatch pictures and 6 eyeballs and saying, well, this is it. People don't understand that they're shooting in 60 frames per second, and they're showing us 1 frame. So that's 1/60th of a second of a frame that you are seeing that they're proclaiming to be a Sasquatch. If it doesn't have movement, it is not a Sasquatch. That's what people need to start learning. No movement, no Sasquatch.
I think that's very good advice.
Yep.
Very good advice. Okay, let's continue on here. As Fidgety Aura, by the way, says the coyote leg was for soup to make you better.
Yeah, I think it was a gift. They definitely were missing me, but Maria wasn't having it.
Elle wants to know, have there been any sightings that you know of in the Florida Keys?
I've never heard of anything in the Florida Keys. See, I'm not from down there. I could find out for you and make sure I get come over to my channel and subscribe or leave a message or whatever you want to do, and I'll find out definitely for you if there has been any sightings.
Nicola wants to know, Chris, do you ever go into the Adirondacks, and do you carry any type of weapon?
I've never been in the Adirondacks, but I have been invited to go this coming year, so that's definitely on the plans. And the only weapon I carry is a knife. I do not believe these guys are out to hurt you. And if a mountain lion is going to get me, it's going to get me whether I have a gun in my side or anything. It's going to jump from a tree, and that's the only thing I'm really scared about around this area. We don't have grizzly bears. We don't have anything like that around here. A moose is the most dangerous thing that we have that walks the forest here in Connecticut. So just a knife, just for self-defense or to cut a piece of wire or anything. That's no guns for me.
You know what we do is when we go into our areas armed, but the first thing we do when we get out of the vehicle is I have this belief that Sasquatch can hear you. If it's in the area, it can hear you and understand your your words. I don't know how. I'm not saying they understand the English, but maybe the mannerisms of the words and the way they're said. But we always, when the minute we get out of the vehicle, we always proclaim that we do have a rifle, or we are armed, and that we will not raise our weapon to them. We literally say this is to protect us from bears, from cougars, from other animals out there that may want to harm us.
Yep.
But we will not use the armament towards you, as in being the Sasquatch. And that seems to have worked so far.
Oh yeah, same thing every time, routine. They know, they see the rifle. You go back every time, you show them the rifle, you say you're not going to use it, and you don't. So they know. Of course, it's the perfect thing to do. You're doing, in my opinion, that's brilliant.
Kira would like to know, have you ever seen orange or red orbs in any of your videos or photos? And I'll add to that, while you're on location.
Okay, I have a video on my channel that's called Light at the Shredded Tree. There is a light. There's a tree that they were taking the bark off of, that we were, it was on our pattern hike, and we would go up there, and it was a sugar maple. And all the shred, they would shred the tree, but there would be nothing on the ground. Nothing on the ground. It would just be pulled like string cheese. So we set up a trail camera there one time, and there was a deer there, and it tripped the trail camera off. But at the same time, there was this light, and it was jumping from tree to tree, and it crawled across the back of a tree, and it came around the tree, and the video shows it all. And then it was about to come off of the tree when the deer walked out of the area and stopped the recording. So we have that. And when I was in Missouri, we were at about 2:00 in the morning. We were sitting on this ledge, and I seen a thing that looked like a blue phoenix. It looked like a bird, but it was like a ghost bird. And it was so cool. It was blue, and it came down the ridge, and it flew. It was like, it glided like, and then it was gone. And those are the only two things I've seen that had lights and stuff like that.
Well, you know what? We're going to get ready to go to break here. And I actually have pulled up that video on your channel, if you're okay with us sharing it. And
the light at the shredded tree?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
And what we'll do is we'll get to that here momentarily. But I'm just thrilled that you're here, man. Very thrilled that you're here and giving us some straight goods on some Sasquatch talk tonight. And is it about frequency? Is it about something more? We don't know. That's all part of the mystery, and that's why we discover Sasquatch. That's why we do it. Chris Reinhardt is here. We got him for another hour here on Spaced Out Radio, talking about the big hairy beast we love to call Sasquatch. Anywhere in North America you can find this, except maybe downtown Vegas. Well, maybe. Spaced Out Radio continues with Sasquatch Talk from Discover Sasquatch. Chris Reinhardt. We'll be back with more Bigfoot talk on Spaced Out Radio next. All right, we're clear. I'm just going to play this for the audience.
Am I too loud?
No, you're beautiful, man.
I was making out with the microphone. I get so excited.
Oh, we all do that.
I got you.
All right, here is the video here. So what do we got going on here? Do you know what marking it's at?
It's the whole one. You can flash forward through it. You'll see it right there.
Right here?
Yep. That's like 10 inches between those two branches. That's not there's no moon in back there. It's all woods. There's no houses. There's no nothing. That's the shredded tree on the left. You see all the things, that's a sugar maple. And they were taking the bark off of it. And now it's on the ground. I'll tell you a story about this when we go back from break. This is on our pattern hike. This is the spot we always go to.
Seems to have changed to a triangle.
Oh yeah, it changes shapes. It gets bigger, it gets smaller, and then it disappears behind the branch. It's crazy. See, it just appears. People say,
is this a branch here?
yeah, yes. Yep.
Okay.
People say it's a spider. It's got, if it's a spider, it's softball sized. This was when I first started, so I didn't measure things and show people things, and now I can't measure it because it's pushed over. I'll tell you a story behind that too. But see how it's moving and changing shapes, and
that is weird.
And if you go to my channel, I did a podcast of Larry Munsner. He's my research partner up here, and there's actually a picture on it. There's a picture that comes in between you see where the light is to the left, right in between these two things of a serious. Oh, you can see it right there. See the face?
Where's the face?
Right in the crotch. Go rewind it a little bit. You'll see him right there. Yes. See the face? That's a big, scary face in there. And we have found that face a few times in other areas. And you can, if you watch that video, you can see it. But there's something sitting back there.
That is correct. I mean, even if you look back here, okay, there's the face.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
The Sasquatch.
But you can see that, I mean, that's right in the density of the trees.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. Crazy stuff. Year after year, it gets crazier. And I'm sane. At least I think I am.
Hi, dear. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah. He's just doing his thing. And I think the thing caught him. I think the Sasquatch was going to pounce on him. I think the light was part of like an attractant to get it to come closer to the tree.
Oh, what was that flash?
Yeah, I think it's another thing over there. That's been brought up before. Yep. Yep. See
right
it?
There by my mouse.
Yeah, it shoots out.
Right in this area.
Yep. See it?
Weird.
Yeah. So go towards the end of the video, and then you'll see it almost come off the branch. Go a little bit farther. See how big it's getting. Now it's almost off the side of the branch.
Wow.
Tell me that's a spider, they're telling me. One guy told me it was pine sap.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. I don't have Patreon anymore back then either, so.
That is awesome.
But yeah, that's one of the lights we caught. Like as I said, everything I talk about, you can go see on our channel. And that's the best part. If you can't document what you're saying, then it's just a story. What frequency?
Yeah.
Radio frequency.
Do you know about Mark Barton encounter in the Green Swamp?
That's who I'm talking about. Mark Barton is Chris's old ex-partner. That's who I was down in the swamp with.
Okay.
Yep. That's the same spot as Mark had his thing go on.
All right. We want to say a big thank you to Cat Chaser Snakes, Misty, and Ben for the amazing super chats tonight. It's a great way to support what we do nightly here on Spaced Out Radio. If you get an opportunity, go do some shopping at our store, which is on our website. Hi, Scarborough Sasquatch. How you doing? And we'll get to a few more questions here coming up right now. That's the halfway point of Spaced Out Radio tonight. My name is Dave Scott. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. We really do appreciate it. Want to remind you that if you miss portions of this show or others, check out our free archives by going to youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. Our website, spacedoutradio.com. We have a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot, read up on Shirky Poo's Newswire, and check out our swag. Follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio, Instagram, Spaced Out Radio Show, and now on TikTok at Spaced Out Radio. We continue on tonight with Chris Reinhardt. We are talking Discovering Sasquatch and his incredible encounters that he has been going through. We're taking audience questions from our chat rooms now. Jeffrey is asking Chris, as we welcome you back, if we, as the public with you, were not selected and were with Chris, which is you, would we not see the Sasquatch while you would?
No, you for sure would, because I just brought 3 people up with us, and the girl that was there with us, that's a member of my team now, actually seen one run between 2 trees. So you for sure would be able to see them. You'd stand a better chance of seeing one with somebody that knows where they are, that's interacted with them, and can tell you, like I can tell them where they are, what time of year, what our best chances are, and happening. I'm now asking what Chris just did in the video that I showed you. I'm now asking for knocks and getting them, and that's all in the videos too. I'm asking for things to happen, and they're happening. So I'm getting phone calls from someone that's been coaching me through all this, because it's been kind of difficult when you get this stuff happening, and she's helped out a lot, and that's what's going on now. We're asking for things, and they are actually happening.
All right, let's move on. Michelle in Australia is asking, Chris, have you ever talked to Robin McCrae about his experiences and the possibility that some of these Sasquatch are being used by other entities?
No, I'm not familiar with Robin McCrae.
All right. Downshift is asking, how fast do you think a Sasquatch can run?
Probably as fast as that car you got on your little blog thing right there. They are very, very quick. And they can, if you ever experience a bluff charge, they run through stuff. They run over trees. They don't dodge. They go through. Powerful, powerful being. Powerful, but probably fast. I couldn't even measure how fast, but fast for sure.
Jenny was wondering, do you feel that Bigfoot are all telepathically connected to each other across the country, and that could be why you are recognized everywhere?
Again, I think it's the radio frequency. I think that's how they communicate. I think that radio frequency can travel the longest out of all of them. It just can't go through water or lead, that kind. So again, RF bears its lovely little head again now that we've measuring it. So telepathically, I've never received any messages from them or anything like that. I've had weird dreams about them, but nothing talked to other than the voices that we pick up on our recorders.
Interesting question from Downshift here. If you tuned a radio to a frequency that matched their frequency, what do you think would happen?
Hopefully communication. That's what we're striving for. We're trying to learn how we can harness this to get to the next stage. That's what we're trying to do right now. We want to be able to locate, and we want to be able to see if they're talking to us, if that's what people call the EVPs in the spirit world, if it's actually them contacting us while we're in the woods. That's what we're trying to figure out now.
Kaiju is asking, what's the scariest encounter you've had?
I think the scariest encounter was Missouri for sure, because that was my first interaction. When you first realize that they're there and having one breathe on the side of your face that was the scariest. I mean, we've had the bluff charges. The rock throws really don't bother me. But when they're around at night, and you wouldn't, if you were in their area at night, you wouldn't know that they're 10 feet away from you. But if you have a FLIR thermal camera and you're in that area and you see them, that changes the whole game. So yeah, Missouri was my scariest encounter by far. First one, I guess, would be the scariest.
All right, let us move on here as we continue on with Chris Reinhardt here talking Discovering Sasquatch. Chris, for you, what is the end goal with all of this? For a lot of researchers out there, it's about proving the existence of Sasquatch. You have already had your own encounters. You don't need proof personally. So, what is your end goal?
Awareness. I want people to know that these guys are in the woods and they accept them. Leave them alone. Let them continue to do what they do, and just be aware that things can happen out there. There's other things that they're out there, but people need to be aware that it's just not all Bambis and jackrabbits and bears that are living in the woods. There's actually 8-foot creatures with 17-inch footprints that weigh 400 pounds that can sneak around anywhere in the woods. So awareness is my end goal.
All right. Vintage Beard is asking, any known sightings at Bluff Point State Park in Groton, Connecticut?
Groton, I've never been to Groton, but I was talking to Dave earlier. I am about to get something handed over to me that's going to go on my new website that I'm making. And there's going to be a list of sighting reports from all over America. So you'll be able to go to discoversasquatch.com, and we're going to link it up with Dave too. And you guys will be able to go to each site and check everybody and check out the GPS locations and find out all for yourself. But I can find out for you Vintage Skills if you want. Go over to my channel and leave me a message, and I'll be happy to send you a message and let you know what I find out.
Aussie Ange is asking, could the RF frequency also have something to do with portals?
It could. There's been many. I've heard a lot about portals lately. I just had somebody here in Connecticut actually just messaged me. He's seen our last show and he came out of the woodworks, and he's never told anybody, but he was turkey hunting here in Connecticut, and he had a Groundhog Day moment. He's seen the same thing the Sasquatch was doing over and over and over again, about 20 times. He said same thing. It would go away, it would come back, it would do the same actions, and then all of a sudden it would disappear, and then it would come back. It was like it was stuck in a portal. So I've been hearing a lot about it. So who knows if RF can trigger that or not? I have no idea, but I'm starting to believe a lot of different things that I wouldn't believe before, especially with the dimensionals and all that stuff. It's pretty fascinating stuff once you start reading about it.
Flippity wants to know if you've had other cryptid encounters.
Not that I know of, but that thing that barked at us that day, we're thinking that it was a dog man whimpering like a dog, and now we're hearing. But see, this last interaction at the top of the mountain, they were barking at us like a dog. We can hear that in the video too, and I couldn't say one or the other, because a lot of things happen and I don't see what does it. I mean, we hear vocals and we get the rocks and stick snaps, so we don't know really what's doing it because we're not seeing them every time. But it could possibly be other cryptids. But I believe in other cryptids. I know for sure that they're definitely out there.
All right. Joe is asking, radio frequency is nice, but have you narrowed it down, or are you just starting that?
No, we're just starting the process. Like we said, this has only happened twice now, and the only way we can get the readings is to have interaction. They have to be within, we're guessing 30 yards to get the frequency readings that we're getting. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to establish our baselines, do it the scientific way. But the hard part is getting the interaction every time to get them, to get the measurements and see if we can get a directional. So hopefully the tool that we're getting sent will help us be able to track these guys. And if we can track them, then that'll open up a whole bunch of doors.
All right, let's go to Scarborough Sasquatch Station. Chris, why have you not had any telepathic communication with Sasquatch, or have you?
I haven't, like I just said a little while, I haven't had any that I know of. They don't have to communicate me with telepathically because they communicate me physically. I see them. I don't see them all the time, but They're there. They're knocking on trees, let me know they're there. They're throwing stones at us. They're leaving me gifts at my door. I have stones. I have a stone right here, that they left me by a tree that's never been there. You can see that on my channel too. You'll see the tree, nothing ever there. Then all of a sudden this rock shows up one day. It's just along the pattern hikes. I got feathers. I got a whole dream weave thing up there full of feathers that they've left us. I think my relationship with them is more physical and seeing how I'm more out in the woods. But I guess if I wasn't out in the woods that much, then maybe it could be telepathic, and I don't know.
Andrew in the UK is wondering if you've ever taken music out there and played it to see if you get a positive response.
Oh yeah, we were in Florida. We were playing whale singing. They were singing whale vocals, and we actually had a response from something that mimicked the whale. It was so cool. It was in the middle of the green swamp, and there's a we were lighting it up, big speakers, and you could hear echo. And then we turned it off, and then all of a sudden you hear way in the distance, you hear this. It imitated it. It was so cool. But so yes, we've used music and sounds, and I have actually a little accordion flute that I bring in with me and I play sometimes. But I have a whistle I use all the time, and that's how they know it's me coming. I use that whistle as my marker, and it works well.
All right, let's continue on here as we where's another question? I know there was one here. I just missed it. This is why I like it when our audience asks questions in capital letters. Kira is asking, maybe the stones that they've given you have energy on them?
Yeah, I actually have stones and trinkets here from gifting areas all across the United States. I have them in a little bowl over here with special herbs on top of them, and I have quite the collection of highly active Sasquatch areas, and I have pieces of them all here. I actually have one hanging from my microphone right here. See this little tie thing? This was actually from my friend Angie, who they call Snow White Bigfoot. She has been trading with these guys for about 7 years, and she has just gotten prints on her car of a baby Sasquatch that will blow your mind. Go to her channel, Snow White Bigfoot, and check out those prints, because she's been trading them for 7 years. But I have pieces of the fridge down in Florida here, and all under glass cases though, just in case there's the mojo on them. They've all been sprayed, and they're kept safe.
All right. Let's go to where was it? Bim Jim's question. This is a good one. And he is asking, Chris, have you ever heard of anybody talking about an invisible Sasquatch?
Yep, that's where like I was explaining before, that's that translucent hairs that they have, and I think that's what the invisible Sasquatch is. I think that's just the way the light hits their fur, and it just makes them disappear. That's my impression about the invisible Sasquatch.
Now, he lives in an area that is red hot. He is kind of in the Sunshine Coast here in British Columbia. And that entire area, which leads into Squamish and Whistler and Pemberton, and then eventually up to my area where I am, is all red hot. The only thing separating us is the mighty Fraser River. And I mean, his area, though, where he is going up that coastline up north, is red hot for sightings.
Is he getting the camera movement? Like there's an image that moves across his screen on his cameras? Because we're getting that too.
I'll have to wait for his response on that.
Okay.
But yeah, he's in a beautiful area.
I would love to come up there and visit. I would really love to come up there and visit.
I love this question by Fapster. I have a theory. They throw stones because they are sick of hearing beetles in the woods. Would you like to blast some Rolling Stones music? Any truth to that?
I think they're looking to hear some more Zeppelin myself. But I think they throw, that's why they throw stones. I think they throw stones to get reaction. I don't think they do it for harm, because I believe that if they wanted to throw a stone and hit you in the head, they're going to throw a stone and hit you in the head. Bottom line.
Well, let's talk about the stone throwing. What do you think that is?
I think they're just doing it to get your reaction, to let you know that. I think they do it here to let me know that they're nearby. They're close. If you get a stone thrown at you, they're within 30 yards. Which direction? Who knows? You got to see the stone come in. But we were sitting 2 weeks ago, we were sitting halfway up and there was a ledge above our head. And the rock came down from above that and landed in back of Shayna, member of our team, right in back of her. And she jumped. So we knew where that stone came from, but we couldn't see up above the ledge because it was an overhang. So they actually lobbed it. So I think it's more reaction. I think if they wanted to use it as defense, they could very easily.
Very rarely do you hear of somebody getting hit or pelted by stones.
Right.
I mean, there are stories out there. We can't deny it. You know, whether it's a rogue team or maybe somebody like hunters took a shot at them, like what happened at Mount St. Helens way back in the day and in Sasquatch Alley there. And, you know, I think it does happen. I mean, we can't sit here and say that all of these creatures are indeed, you know, very friendly. It's like killer whales. You know, you could go swimming with a pod of killer whales and nothing's going to happen. But if you accidentally go in with a rogue pod and you don't know it, you could be food.
Absolutely.
I would say it would be the same with these guys, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody has a bad day. Everybody has a toothache. Everybody could step on a bad rock, or you know what I mean? Or, you know, they're not all smart, because we're not all smart. I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm sure they're not all rocket scientists. Yeah, so I think they have their own communities and their own social, how would you word it? Social, I don't know how to word it. But just like us.
I agree with you. We got about 5.5 minutes before we have to go to break here at the top of the hour. Chris Reinhardt is our guest tonight. We're talking Sasquatch. Back to the rock throwing. I don't think a lot of people fully understand. I mean, these are creatures that can easily pick up a 300, 400, 500-pound boulder and smash it into big gear, because I know a couple of years ago, there was a logging camp about an hour and a half away from me. And half of their crew refused to work this site. They first saw the footprints, then they got into their logging, and then they went home. The next night they came back, and there was giant boulders sitting on the ground in front of their gear with huge dents in the gear.
Yep.
Huge dents. Like something had gone up to their backhoes and their logging. I apologize. I don't know the name of their equipment, but these big heavy duty machines, and here's dents on them, like these rocks have been thrown.
Right.
I mean, we don't really know the power of these creatures.
Oh no, they're extremely strong, but they're throwing quarter-sized stones accurate. Hey, nice. Look at that. Creature of the Black Lagoon. See the poster in my back here?
Yeah, nice.
He's got the same guy. Way to go, Steve. How do you say it? Frenchies? Franchise. Creature from the Black Lagoon. He's my favorite. I was going to wear the shirt tonight, but I had to wear my squat shirt.
You don't squat here, do you? You're better than a squatcher.
No, my squat shirt, I said.
Do you know how much heat I take over that? I went on a show with a lady talking about Sasquatch, and I got ripped to shreds in their comments, calling myself ignorant and everything, because I stood up to people and basically said squatchers aren't researchers.
Right. Yeah, I don't call myself a researcher either. I call myself an investigator. A researcher, I would be funded. If anybody wants to fund, I have a team that is ready to go for 2 years straight, and we will get you the proof needed. And then we will be researchers. Right now, we're just investigators.
Flippity wants to know, what tools do you take into the woods to play with Bigfoot?
My pack weighs about 45 pounds when I go into the woods because I've been caught without certain things. I have DNA kits that have rubber gloves, envelopes, tweezers, alcohol pads. I have casting material. I have recorders. I have spare batteries. I have rain gear. I have rain ponchos. I have everything you could possibly guess in my pack, and my shoulders hurt so bad when I get back from 8 hours in the woods. But it's needed. I've been caught without it, and now I have a RF meter that I strap to this side, and then on this side on my backpack I have a audio recorder, and I have 2 cameras, and now we have a 360 Insta360 camera, which is the best tool for anybody that's going to investigate Sasquatch because it's 5.7K, 360 degrees, beautiful picture. Just leave it running while you're walking. It's the ultimate tool. The ultimate tool.
Getting back to Steve here for a second, he was asking, what is the average size of a Sasquatch, you believe?
I think it depends on the areas. I believe down in Florida, they're the skunk ape size. So I think they're anywhere from 6 to 8 feet and skinny. I think as you move farther up north, they come bigger and heavier due to the weather. And I think once you get up into the Canada regions and up farther from Canada, I think that's where you get the big boys. I think that's where you find the 28-inch prints and the 800-pounders. There's really big ones out there, and then there's all different sizes. But I think it goes in regions. I think it goes from the climate, how hot it is. Because in Texas, you get the same reports as Florida. I just think that's how it is. It's tiered up. So I would say an average size would be 8 foot, 450, 16-inch footprint. That would be my guess as an average.
And then it's weird though that the closer you get to the Arctic, the bigger they get.
Yeah.
Like we're getting reports. I heard reports out of northern British Columbia here and near the Alaskan border that these creatures can literally, they're seeing creatures 12 to 15 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, 12 to 15 feet tall, you're looking at 15, 18, 200 pounds, if not 2,000 pounds.
For sure.
I mean, I could not imagine running into a 15-foot Sasquatch.
Well, I wouldn't want to.
Quickly, did you see that video of that tree shaking and there was grunting around it?
Yeah, that was one of those logging machines there. What do they call them? The fender? I forgot what they call them. But it's one of those machines that grasps the tree, it cuts it, it tips it, and then it pulls it through. That's what it's one. Well, I forgot what they call them.
I know the one you're talking about. I'm going to get you to hold on right there. That was a quick half hour.
This time is flying by. It's already 2 o'clock in the morning?
We have Chris Reinhardt here from Discover Sasquatch, and we are loving this show. He's here for another 30 minutes. Then at the bottom of the hour, I was going to rant about Anjali in the Dave 101, but I'm tired of that. Let's rant about Sasquatch on the Dave 101 at the bottom of the hour. We'll be back right after this with Hour 3. I swear that half hour had just started. That is crazy.
Yeah, it's been flying by, huh? I can't even believe it was a half hour already.
I'm doing something for you. I'm going into my YouTube channel here, and I'm adding you to our community.
Oh, nice.
Is it our community? No, our channel. Hold on. Is this it?
Yeah, we got big plans this year coming, Dave, man. I've got some big plans, and hopefully everything goes the way we want it to go. I'm heading to Georgia first. Georgia's a hot spot right now.
Where the hell do I do this? Customization? I always forget. Yeah, there it is. All right, so if you go to featured channels, we call it SOR's YouTube friends. I'll edit that. I will put in your channel here. That'd be cool if you could do the same for us.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It'll take me a little bit longer than you, but I'll definitely do it in the morning.
Yeah, for sure.
For
There.
sure.
Now you're up. Now you're up with us, buddy. Now you're up with us.
All right.
There you go.
I'll make $25 a month.
Woohoo!
Not about the money. Man, I wish I get somebody to sponsor though, because I got a team that's ready to go.
You got to go for outdoor gear. That's where I'd be aiming. Survival, outdoors. I wouldn't worry about, anything like Jack Links or anything like that.
Nope. But we just want a millionaire. We want somebody that wants to do it and do it right.
Yeah.
And we're hoping that the radio frequency, and you'd be a perfect guy to take with us for the radio and the production and all that part of it too.
I am there.
Yeah. Believe me.
The gorgeous McClurg wants to know, have you heard about the Algonquin Park Bigfoot and the wolves?
I've never heard about it, but I'm definitely going to check it out. Everything that I don't answer tonight and that I don't know about, I will read about tomorrow. I can guarantee you that.
It's a good story. Gorgeous Jordan Ashley Pettit has joined us. Oh, there he is, everyone. Mr. Cowley. Welcome back to the show.
Oh,
Mr. Cowley. Loves his spaced out radio. Thank you for that. That's all I got. Felipe, how you doing? Welcome back. And the gorgeous and talented Sweetly Morbid Bear has returned. Yep. There's stunning Rafaela from Europe. I always forget where she's from. It's not Austria. Rafaela, where are you from again? I think it's not the Czech Republic.
Now, can they hear us talking on the chat, or are you typing?
They can hear us.
Oh, oops.
I haven't said anything bad.
No, I know, but I'm glad that I don't say anything bad anyway, so I guess I don't have anything to worry about. I'm not that kind of a guy. And once people see me eating all my grandkids' holiday candy. Oh, I love chocolate.
Now, Paranormal Chop Shop here, Sonny, dressed up as me for Halloween.
I seen that.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it was really, he did a very good job at it too.
Yeah, he did a great job singing Mr. Cowley too.
I didn't see that, but I just seen the costume. That's funny.
Yeah, she is from the Czech Republic. That's right.
I love this show, by the way. I was so glad that I got to come back on it.
Oh, dude, you're our guy now.
Nice. I like to be the guy.
Yeah. I'll chat with you about that, like with our website and everything. We'll talk.
Yeah. No, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just started building it. So it's like in its very, very early stages.
B. Hoff wants to know, do you have any reports from Wallingford, Connecticut, Bigfoot or UFO?
Wallingford. I'm up in the Northwest Connecticut. Wallingford, I'm not familiar with. But again, like I said earlier, I'm getting a list, and you'll be able to go onto the website and check out all these areas.
Bim Jim here, this is a guy who just asked about the invisible Sasquatch. He actually encountered the invisible creature called Predator.
Right. See, now that's what we're thinking. We're thinking they're bouncing that RF waves with those translucent hairs, and that's how they're getting the Predator effect. It makes perfect sense. RF is the key. I'm telling people.
And I agree with you, but if you hear Mrs. Maccabee's account on the Missing 411, where this thing is right beside her in a tree.
Right.
That doesn't account for hair because she would have seen it.
Right. I don't know.
It's
all, like I said, it's all different.
A great theory. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to shoot you down.
No. It's good. It could be shot down very easily. But this is brand new. This is all brand new. It's exciting because it's brand new. You know what I mean? Nothing has come up in the Sasquatch world in years and years and years other than tree structures. Now we're getting readings of radio frequency when these guys are throwing stones at us.
Right. Give me a second here. Big thank you to Stevie, to Cat Chaser, Snakes, Misty, and Ben for the amazing super chats. Tonight is a good way to take care of us here on Spaced Out Radio. If you're new, don't forget to hit your subscribe button and shop on our website. Here we go. Horns up.
Would you like to connect with us? Head to spacedoutradio.com for all your latest show info. Now, back to Dave Scott and SOR.
Third and final hour of Spaced Out Radio is now underway. My name is Dave Scott. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. We really do appreciate earning your listening ears wherever you are on this beautiful planet we call Earth. Hello to everyone listening in on our terrestrial affiliates around North America and digitally on TalkStream Live, Revolution Radio, and KPNL. All of our archives are free. Just go to youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. The Desert Clam has set the password for tonight in the SOR Space Travelers Club. Abditive. Abditive is your password. Use it wisely, Space Travelers, as the Clam sets the password each and every night right here on Spaced Out Radio. Our website is spacedoutradio.com. We have a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot. Check out our swag. Shirky Poo has the Newswire updated. Follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and on Instagram, Spaced Out Radio Show. For the final time tonight, we are joined by Discover Sasquatch's Chris Reinhardt and his incredible stories that has kept him going in the Sasquatch world. When you have close encounters, it scares you so much that you need to have more. More. And that's what we're up to tonight. Chris, welcome back, man.
Glad to be here. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Now, you are in the process of setting up a brand new website for Sasquatch encounters. And unlike the BFRO, you don't care if there's woo involved. So if somebody is, all of a sudden filming a UFO in the sky, and then there happens to be Sasquatches howling right behind them at the same time, you want that stuff.
Yep.
You're not editing anything like the BFRO. You're not changing reports like the BFRO. You're setting up this website. Why are you doing this? Are you doing it to compete against the BFRO or to bring some honesty and accountability?
Honesty and accountability, because there's too many reports that the BFRO don't let you know about that it involved. They'll let you know about the Sasquatch part, but there's a spaceship involved, or there's something else strange that there's involved, or there's little creatures involved, and they're not honest about the subject. And you talk to the guys, I don't care, anybody out there, whoever's had a Sasquatch experience has had the other experience along with it, the stuff that they cannot explain. Does it go hand in hand? I don't know. They don't know. We don't know, but it needs to be logged and it needs to be told, so that's what we're going to do.
Okay. So when you mention that, UFOs are other little creatures around, what do you mean by other little creatures?
I don't even know the names of them. There's that, not the little people, but there's these little, what are they called?
Puckwudgies?
So, now, what do they look like?
Or gnomes?
Yeah, like little gnome guys. I've heard a lot of reports about them lately. I've heard a lot of reports about different kinds of things lately that are coming into the work. That's why I made that comment about the battle between good and evil coming up. I think evil has stretched its boundaries and the good is starting to flex its muscles again. And I think there's something coming. And hopefully it's not the second coming. But you got to admit that the last 6 years that it's just been crazy, man. This whole world has been flipped over.
Oh, yeah. Flippity wants to know, we know that summer had Bigfoot kings and such. Any other images cultures around?
Summer had Bigfoot kings and such and other images of culture. I don't know. I don't understand
Yeah, we'll get that question clarified. All right. Acreon wants to know, Sasquatch, do they smell rotten?
Yes, I smelt the skunky stink. Actually, I smelt that 3 weeks ago when we got to the top of that mountain right before everything went down. I even make a comment on the camera that to the guy in back of me. I'm like, do you smell that? So yes, they smell bad sometimes, but not all the times.
All right. We know they're family based. We don't know their life expectancy. Mind control possible? I think telepathy would be more accurate about that. Eat food or don't, which really, I don't know if that makes sense, because if they are some sort of mysterious type creature, why would they need to feed? But then,
I believe they feed
yeah,
personally.
yeah. Why do they do that? Knocking to trees or pushing trees down? I think it's territorial
Hmm.
and not interdimensional. Could be. We don't know.
Right. Those are all great questions. I mean, anybody could get, you ask another person other than us these same questions, you'll get all different answers. For sure.
I love this question from Joe. Have you had any stories or encounters of people having horses' manes braided?
Yep. We've had it done up here in Litchfield, Connecticut. There's a ranch up here that actually had it done. And if you haven't really heard the stories of dug into deep about the Sasquatch and horses, I'm not going to be the one to tell you, but dive a little bit into it and you will find some pretty upsetting things about Sasquatch and horses.
Well, there's two ways to think about that, and it has been mentioned on this show, so I'll mention it.
Uh,
There are some people who believe they braid the manes of the horses out of as a marker, because they're friendly with horses. There's another one who believes that they're actually raping horses.
mhm.
All right, and use the braids as a sign of a horse that has been uh, taken advantage of, shall we
Yeah.
say?
Yeah. Caressing the horse.
Yes. Also, I heard we got a lot of horse farms around here. A lot of people who ride horses because there's a lot of open range up here. And I was talking to a friend of my family's about this, and she runs a horse farm, and she was telling me that her horses come back with the braids all the time. But she had always been told that this was something that the fairies do. They call it a fairy braid.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a difference between a fairy braid and a Sasquatch braid?
I have no I guess you would have to see what was doing it, right? That's the only way you would be able to tell one way or the other. But the lady up here in Litchfield would come out to her. The horses wouldn't be out in the yard; they'd be in the stables, and she would come in the morning. And their manes would be braided, which I think is pretty cool. But then I found out about the other thing about the horses, and I'm like, well, that's pretty disturbing. And so,
But we don't know if it's true yet or not.
right. But I've heard it.
Nobody has been arrested for it yet.
Right. I heard it for the first time. I did a podcast about 2 months ago, and I'm just like, no. But I guess it's a thing.
Yes, we've heard that too. Kaiju is asking, what are bluff charges?
Okay, a bluff charge is when they come full steam at you and then they just stop. They are breaking trees. They are mad that you either snuck up on them, I believe, or you're not supposed to be where they're at. They're telling you to go away. And they come at you like something you've never heard before, and then the trees are snapping, and it's like a herd. It's like a herd of elephants coming at you, but then it stops, and then there's nothing, not a sound. You can't see nothing moving. You can't see nothing, and then it's all over with. That's the bluff charge, and it's crazy. I've had it happen once, and then a tree being pushed over the same day at the same area. So we never went back to that area ever again. Bluff charge and a tree pushover is a no-no in the same place at the same day. So, but yeah, it's something like you've never heard. It'll scare the living daylights out of you. It just happens, and it's crazy. So take your Volkswagen Bug, go about 50 through the woods, and stop. And that's what a bluff charge would sound like.
And what a lot of people don't realize is you don't have to go deep in the forest to encounter these creatures. You don't have to walk 25 miles or hike in 50 miles. Granted, they try and stay off the logging roads. It's more deer trails. But, if you're in an area where there's a water source and there's a food source around, like look for rabbits, look for deer, where deer are active and find some trails. It's really all you need to do in order to go in and start looking for these signs, correct?
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. These guys are everywhere. And the better the entertainment, the more they'll be there. They are curious. They want to watch. They want to be entertained. They want to see what's going on. If you have dogs in your backyard and they're doing the same thing every day and they can sit and watch them dogs, they're going to sit and watch them dogs. In my opinion, again, of course, everybody, again, this is just my opinion. I am just telling you how I perceive this, and nothing is a fact because nobody knows anything really much about what's going on, but I'm just sharing my experiences with you all and telling you the stuff I've gathered over the last 6 years and my findings.
Do you think, though, that as you say that they are curious, do you think, though, that they are involved in a lot of these missing 411 cases like David Politis believes?
I don't, I just can't see them doing it. I think there's a rule. I think they're not allowed to harm humans. I think there's a rule. There's some kind of a rule, because if they wanted to, they could be eating us and feeding us, and we'd be disappearing all over the place. I think that's ET stuff again. I think that's all extraterrestrial. That's what I believe. I just don't believe the Sasquatch are the ones that are doing it personally.
Dogman?
Dogman, yeah. Demons are out there. There's good, yeah. Heaven versus hell is going on every day. Even it's not a religion, it's heaven versus hell, and it happens. And I just don't think the Sasquatch they're the ones that are doing the 411 personally.
Sovereign wants to know, do you think that they not only weave hair and twigs, but also baskets?
Oh yeah, I have friends that have had baskets made for them. Pretty cool stuff. Amazing stuff. My friend Angie, check out her, like I said, Snow White Bigfoot. She's had some amazing gifts left to her. They leave her bird nests in a certain spot in her garden. She'll come home and there'll be bird nests there. And the next day she'll come back, there'll be another bird nest. She has some pretty exciting stuff going on in her place.
Purpose and Grace wants to know, do you have any concerns for your safety, government or men in black?
Not until now. I think the RF thing, I think we stumbled onto something that we're not supposed to stumble onto. And I think that's, when you go too far, I think that's when the MIB steps in, or the government, or you're too close to something that you're not supposed to know about. So not until now. We're a little worried about it right now, but we'll see what happens.
There is, we can't be remiss without saying that I don't think that anybody in the government who's in the know really wants Sasquatch to come out. There is a lot of financial resources and millions upon millions upon millions of dollars on the line, because every time there's a new creature that is found, they immediately shut off a major portion of that area to everything from tourism, hunting, fishing, mining, and forestry. Now, if you're a forestry worker who has a $5 million claim to go log that area, and that is your year that you are going to make your money and pay your employees all a very good salary, take care of your equipment, and put, a few $100,000 in your own bank account, plus pay for new gear, you're not saying anything. You are not.
Right.
I think there is a lot. I don't know if it's a militaristic thing like the Men in Black, but I do believe that there is some sort of cover up. They know. The forestry workers know. The parks people know. I remember running into a conservation officer, and he pulled us over on the road. We were driving, and he was just doing a routine check. And it was me, the missus, and my little guy in our truck. And we were going to look for rocks for a rock garden that we were making. And he goes, any guns or weapons or fishing rods in the vehicle? Nope. He goes, well, I see a shark there. My son had a little toy shark about this, a couple inches long. And, we had a good laugh. And he goes, what are you guys doing? And I said, oh, we're just going out to find some rocks for a rock garden. He's like, awesome. And I said, so see any Sasquatch? And he kind of laughs and he goes, yeah, all the time. I'm like, no, I'm serious. I said, that's what I research. And I said, and he's like, no, I actually, no. I said, because they're, I said, I know they're back here. I said, because I've found prints back there. Oh, where? I said, I'm not telling you. I said, but we found an 18-inch print. We found a 15-inch print. And he just buttoned right up.
Yep.
And I said, I'm the guy. If you see anything, you want to talk, I'm your guy. And this is where you can find me. And it's never talked. But the interesting part about it is I now have a little bit of an in with our local conservation officers because there's only 2 in town. And that is, I bought my son's drum set off of the other one. So this guy has my number. He listens to the show every now and again. And he's like, I've never seen a Sasquatch, but he never denied that they were out there.
Right. Well, they got to know they're out there. Usually the areas they're in are very well maintained too. They're very well taken care of. And that's what I've come to realize. The interaction I just had, I'll tell you right now, 2 weeks ago, was in a state park. State park where people go every single day. They just don't know where the spot is. And that took 2 years to find that spot. And they're in there. They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
They really are. We've only got about 6 minutes left. I want to get through a couple more questions here. And Advocate for Peace is asking, do you have experience with the dogmen, and are they particularly dangerous?
I'm only the encounter with the dog sounding thing that I had earlier I talked about, but I do believe that the dogmen are dangerous. I don't think they are of Sasquatch flesh and blood special abilities. I think dogmen are true evil entities, demons. They're not of this world. That's my opinion of the dogman.
All right, let's get over to Akryong. And he is asking, do you think that Bigfoot or Sasquatch can have anything in common with the giant Humbaba from the Epic of Gilgamesh, who the greatest hero Gilgamesh defeated ages ago?
I'm going to have to pass. I don't know who Gilgamesh is.
I'll answer that one. I don't think so. I really don't. I don't think that there is any ties between this creature and other creatures that have been here in the past. There are a lot of researchers who may lean that way, as we do see them leaning with the way of a relative of the Gigantopithecus or the great apes of Africa. I just don't see it. This thing acts way too strange. Way too strange.
Are these the red-headed giants? Is that what he's talking about, or?
Oh, God, I can't remember.
Like the one they shot down in Afghanistan. They went looking for that missing platoon, and they came upon that cave in Afghanistan, and there was a red-headed giant that came out. And
I remember that story.
Yeah, that was a crazy story.
Yeah. I did hear a story by Jody Cook from the North American Dogman Project. And he was telling us a story after he was on this show. He actually got a report from a former Army Ranger who their platoon had split into 2. And in between them, they were going to counterattack these Taliban. So he was the spotter. He goes walking around this corner and he hears these men screaming. And he kind of peers his head over this rock to see what's going on. And he sees these 2 8-foot tall Anubis dogmen type creature with the giant swords, that like in all the Arabic type of cartoons, you would see them. and they are literally slashing these Taliban members in half.
Yeah.
And then the one caught his scent and kind of was looking around. He quickly ducked behind the rock so it couldn't see him. And then he kind of poked his head back up to take another, or shifted his head where he could get a view. And literally the other Anubis type creature kind of tapped the one, and they both continued walking along this road. He says he never ran so fast to get back to his platoon ever, but there's apparently a lot of reports about that.
All right. Evil.
I don't know.
Pure evil. The
In my-
pyramids,
Yes.
Anubis, they worship them. What happened to what happened to the Egyptians? Wiped out. Who wiped them out? Heaven.
Mhm.
Mayans, same thing. Worship them dog things. It's crazy stuff.
Kaiju wants to know, what do you think, Chris? We haven't found a body or a skeleton. Is it a cover up? Do they bury their dead?
I think they bury their dead. I think they're, like I said, they're very well organized. We'll put it this way: your family was raised to stay hidden in the woods your whole life, generation after generation. These guys are meant to stay hidden generation after generation. They know how to do it. They know how to survive this way, and that's how they do it. I believe they bury their dead deep within caves. That's where I think they bury them. I think they live in caves. I think they live in underground cave systems, and that's where they go for the winters. And I believe they gather all the supplies they need. They're just too intelligent not to have a society. Just way too intelligent.
We've only got about one more minute here with you, my friend. And I apologize to our audience that we're not going to be taking any more questions tonight. But I can't believe how fast this show went by, man.
I can't either. I'm still ready to go. I could go for another couple hours.
Oh, me too. Me too. But I do have to get going because the
Yeah.
radio side has me on a time limit.
Oh yeah, I'm on my bedtime limit. I think, what time's it here? 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, somewhere around there. But that's okay. Do me a favor. Tell our listeners how they can get a hold of you and when your new website's going to be up.
All right, so you guys can come see me on YouTube at Discover Sasquatch. On Facebook is Discover Sasquatch. Instagram is Discover Sasquatch. Everything's Discover Sasquatch. The name of our research and investigating is Berkshire Mountain Sasquatch. And I also do like video editing, and that's all called Squatchography, and that's all on our channel too. But YouTube is the best way. Facebook is the best way to get a hold of me. My email address is discoversasquatch@gmail.com, and we would love to have you guys come on over and check us out, and leave us a like and a subscribe, and every little bit helps when all this goes down. And we got some huge plans coming up this year, and hopefully you guys all be part of it.
All right. Thank you so much, Chris Reinhardt. When we come back, we're going to rant a little bit about Sasquatch and the people who call it monkeys, gorillas. We don't know what it is. We'll be back. Great show, brother.
All right. Thank you very much. It was awesome. I really appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. No problem. You were fantastic.
I told you it'd blow your mind what happened, right?
Oh, dude, it totally did. You're a changed man from the last time we had you on.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Fart hard.
Yeah. He wishes that for every guest.
All right. Well, I was trying my best to succeed.
Let's try and chat this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. We'll definitely get this stuff rolling in the right direction.
Yeah. Yeah. And when do you think your website is going to be up and new and running?
We just started it. It just started. So
You're a few months away.
yeah. Yep. I got to get that list. We got to document all that list in there. Yeah. But it's going to be happening. Winter's coming. And like I said, these guys are gone here in the winter. So I'll be behind this screen for a lot.
Right on. Right on. You take care, my friend. I got to go get ready for the news.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And tell everybody thank you very much too.
Absolutely, brother.
All right.
See you
Have
later.
a good night.
All right. Take care. All right. There he goes. That's a good show, people. That's a very, very good show. Let's continue on with the Sasquatch talk when we come back. I was so into this show and it moves so fast. I haven't even prepped the news yet. Shirky Poo is going to have a heart attack. If I don't get this in here. Holy cow. Holy cow. Shirky Poo, here I go. All right. There's 2. 3. That one's going on. 4. There we go. All right, that's done. So now let's quickly get this ready. I am really behind here. Honestly, this show flew by so quickly that I normally have time to do the news and get it all prepped. All right. So that's good there. And then we'll go like this. We'll go. There we go. Now we are ready. Now we are ready. Yes, we will get Lisa Broderick back on. I want Lynn to interview her. Lynn has the more scientific background than I do. I think that Lynn would do a kick-ass job with her. True story from Joe. When Joe first started listening to the show, he hated me. And I want him over because sometimes I get things right. So he says, years ago, Dave told me to go out and take a photo to my right. I did, and there were eyes in the trees at about 9-10 feet off the ground. Very true story. Big thank you to Steve, to Cat Chaser Snakes, Misty, and Super Ben from UFO Garage for the amazing super chats. Really helps us with the show on a nightly basis. And yeah, here we go. We rounded third. We're heading for home tonight on Spaced Out Radio. My name is Dave Scott. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. We really do appreciate earning your listening ears. Want to remind you that if you've missed most of this show or others, check out our free archives by going to youtube.com/spaced out radio. Just do us the favor, hit that subscribe button. Our website is spacedoutradio.com. We have a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot, read up on Shirky Poo's Newswire, check out our swag as well. Follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and on Instagram, Spaced Out Radio Show. Let's do this thing, shall we?
It's time for Dave 101.
Respect. This is what it comes down to when it comes to searching for Sasquatch. Chris Reinhardt, when we first interviewed him a number of months ago, was one of these Sasquatch researchers, investigators, who believed he was searching for a flesh and blood type creature. But after an experience in Florida where he had weird, strange radio frequencies coming up, where he had paranormal activity coming up, electronic voice phenomena combined with tree knocking, rock throwing, and other aspects of everything weird and strange, really made him shift his focus regarding how to investigate the legendary Sasquatch. Now, this is one thing we do know about this creature, and that is we know very little. We don't know where it comes from. We do not know where it's from, where it's been, where it's going, why it's here, and why can we not get a good video of it? Why are there no bodies? Why is there not enough evidence out there to really show what this creature is all about? Look, for those playing scientists out in the forest who claim that this is a flesh and blood creature, whether you call it a relative of Gigantopithecus, some sort of bipedal hominid, or even as crazy as it sounds, a monkey, what you're doing is you are not conducting anything scientific. Let's get that right off the bat. There is no science when you are conducting opinion, which is why researchers like Chris Reinhardt have pulled away from the BFRO, otherwise known as the Bigfoot Research Organization, because they're science-y. Look, there's nothing wrong with using scientific practice in trying to figure out what this creature is, what its habitat is, how does it eat, what does it feed off of, where does it live. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing. But if you are ruling out centuries of stories from people who've had weird encounters today, which includes UFOs, ghosts, or other little creatures that we cannot explain, from little people to gnomes, then what you are doing is you are skewing the evidence on purpose. And right now, we have too many investigators who are out there saying, oh, I don't believe in that woo crap that Sasquatch can visibly disappear. I don't believe in that woo that it's connected to UFOs or the paranormal. I don't believe in that. Guess what? You've already failed science. You really have. Because science is about theory. And if you're refusing to investigate all possible theories of what this creature may or may not be, then you have immediately failed your study. Your research can't be trusted because you're not conducting proper research. You're conducting opinion. I don't understand why so many Sasquatch researchers out there want to rule out potential evidence before they've even investigated it. The last time I checked with the scientists that I know or the books that I've read, opinion has nothing to do with the study. Look at the egg on his face that Neil deGrasse Tyson has had when it comes to debating the UFO community about these tic tacs or the potential that extraterrestrial life exists and has traveled to this planet. He mocks the community. He mocks the UFOs. He mocks the military fighter pilots who have had these close encounters, whether it's Alex Dietrich or David Fravor or others. How scientific is that? What it does is it makes you look less credible. In the word of public opinion, it makes you look like a fool. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that there should be cover-ups or there should be stories about the government hiding this creature and the Smithsonian has bodies, but we're not allowed to find out about it. That I don't know. That, I think, is a slim possibility. That is my opinion. But until we can start ruling things out properly, effectively, and with evidence, everything is on the table. You just can't use the eraser on the back end of a pencil because you don't like the answer. And too many times we have too many people in this field playing the role of eraser. I don't know why. I don't know how. You don't need to believe in the woo. You really don't. But you cannot rule it out. Too many times researchers have been seeing tracks of Sasquatch prints, dozens of them, walking through the snow, and then all of a sudden it disappears. It ends. The trail ends. There's no exit point. It is just gone. Now, maybe Sasquatch jumped into a tree and started swinging through the trees. That is a theory. Could be plausible. But what if there are no trees around? Like a lot of the stories and encounters with the Yeti in the Middle East. You cannot rule out evidence unless you know for a fact. That is the problem we have. That is the problem why none of these problems or these creatures ever get found. There are brilliant people in this field on both sides of the ledger. Why they cannot come together to hang out, share evidence, and rule what's true and what's not, I don't know. Probably ego, just like every other field that we have in the paranormal community. Ego kills a lot of good research because we don't want to admit we're wrong and we only want to be right and to get as many followers as possible about what is going on. That is the danger of what we are seeing. That is the reason why many people, like in our chat rooms or even listening out there, have questions. Why haven't we found a body? Why haven't we found more than maybe a few hairs or footprints or a couple of piles of poo, aka scat? We really don't know. Are we looking in the right places? We don't know if this creature is migratory. We don't know if it's from space. One seems more logical than the other, but we can't rule either out. How can we? A lot of people have had encounters with UFOs and Sasquatch at the same time. What about people who've been abducted and claim to have seen Sasquatch on craft being tested much like a lab rat? Or, in an alien case, a human lab rat. This is the difficulty of what we do. There are not very many answers, and that there are a lot more questions. Could it be interdimensional? Could it use portals? Why is every photograph blurry? We're not all bad photographers. We're not all using the old Canon AE1 from 1984 or Polaroids. We're using high-tech equipment, whether it's your cell phone, which, yeah, the cameras aren't the best, but still higher quality, or whether it is with high-end video cameras. Why do people see bright flashes in front of trail cams? Why are trail cams in supposed hotspot areas all of a sudden blanking out? Their batteries are dying. And those are batteries that you could leave in for days without any issue. These are questions that need to be answered. These are questions that you cannot rule out anything. And we can't. This is why the BFRO continues to take a little bit of heat, but they don't care. They want their own storyline. And that's what they're doing. That's why many members are leaving. Because, imagine you're a person who calls up the BFRO. You have a report of a Sasquatch encounter by your campsite in the middle of nowhere. And then a black triangle flies over, and this creature gets hit by the UFO light. And you watch it disappear. There's a good chance that report will never see the light of day after filing it to the BFRO. Or it will be so heavily edited and redacted that the main purpose of the story is no longer there. When Chris Reinhardt was a part of BFRO, he had that happen. It disgusted him. But more so, it disgusted the person who gave the report, because now the report was inaccurate. Why? Because the BFRO is all about science. Does that make any sense? No, it does not. Why should it make sense? It should make sense because they should be running the report the way it's written out. But they're too proud, too egotistical to believe anything different, because they've convinced many of their researchers that this is all about science. Correction, BFRO, or any independent investigators out there. Much like the paranormal world, you're not conducting anything scientific. You may use scientific gear. You may know how to pour a casting to get a footprint or a handprint, but you haven't conducted anything scientific. You have no purpose. You have no procedure. You have no theory. You have no hypothesis. And you have no conclusion. Why? Because you're already eliminating the possibility and the plausibility of things happening because of your own personal bias. This hurts a community. This hurts the person who filed the report. And this hurts the entire reputation of the study of Sasquatch. And it's not just happening in Sasquatch land. We see it with ghosts. We see it with dogmen. We see it with UFOs. We see it with aliens. We see it with consciousness. We see it everywhere. If you want to take the research seriously here, the first thing you have to do is open your mind. Once you start to open your mind, only then will we be potentially on the right track to finding answers as to what is the legendary Sasquatch. That is your Dave 101. Do me a favor, if you're on YouTube watching this, leave a comment right under. Tell me what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know. Let's get to the news, shall we? The news is always changing, and Shirky Poo has us on top of things. We're going to get right to it. During a recent appearance at the University of Virginia, Bill Nelson, head of NASA, discussed recently released footage of UFOs released by the Pentagon earlier this year. The footage showed multiple military sightings of UFOs. While not explicitly extraterrestrial in origin, the videos are unexplainable. But during his speech, Nelson said a couple of cool things. I've talked to those pilots, and they know what they saw, something, and the radar is locked onto it, and they don't know what it is, and we don't know what it is, and we hope it's not an adversary here on Earth, and that has that kind of technology. But he goes a little further. This is a mission that we're constantly looking at. Who is out there? Who are we? How did we get here? How did we become as we are? How did we develop? How did we civilize? And are those same conditions out there in a universe that has billions of other suns and billions of other galaxies? It's so large, I can't conceive it. But the question is, where is life? Now, there are even those theories that there might be other universes, Nelson explained. And if that's the case, who am I to say planet Earth is the only location of a life form that is civilized and organized like ours? I got a hint for you, Bill. Look in your own closet. You got the keys to NASA. Look at your own closet. Let's head to New Zealand, where Colin and Donna Craig Brown were weeding their garden in New Zealand when Colin's hoe struck something huge just beneath the soil's surface. As the couple knelt down and began digging around the object, Colin wondered if it was some kind of strange fungal growth like a giant puffball. After Colin pried it out with his giant fork from his garden, he scratched away a bit, loosened some skin, ripped it off, and then tasted it. And it was a really ugly potato. Yep, couldn't believe it, Donna said. It was just huge, not exactly pretty, more of an ugly mutant look. But it's quite possibly the largest potato on record, weighing in at 17.4 pounds. That's equal to a couple of sacks of regular potatoes or one small dog. In the week since their unusual find on August 30th, the couple's potato has become something of a celebrity around their small farm in Hamilton. They've named the potato Doug after the way it was unearthed, and Colin even built a small cart to tow Doug around. We put a hat on him. We put him on Facebook, taking him for a walk, giving him some sunshine, and these people officially need a life. It's all a bit of fun. It amazes what entertains people. A more official weigh-off in the local farming store put Doug at 17.2 pounds. Current Guinness World Record entry for the heaviest potato is a 2011 monster from Britain that weighed in at just under 11 pounds. Yep, they're going for Guinness. That's all it's about. Good job. Moving on, a Banksy painting depicted three prehistoric figures hunting a herd of empty supermarket trolleys could sell for more than 5 million pounds. It's about 7 million US, about 14 million Canadian. The painted canvas, titled Trolley Hunters, will go under the hammer this month at Sotheby's in New York. Auctioneers describe the piece as a typically powerful, witty, and prophetic critique of society's often irrational predilection for processed and packaged products. It features three figures from the dawn of mankind preparing to attack not a family of mammoths, but shopping carts. Yes, shopping carts. The canvas will go on public view this month for the first time in the U.S. since anonymous street artist Banksy unveiled the work in his Barely Legal show held in L.A. back in 2006. It is being offered up as an estimate of 7 million US dollars. Trolley Hunters will feature in Sotheby's Now Evening Auction event in New York on November 18th. Love Banksy. Wish I could afford something from him. All right. You know when you're on a plane and there's always that person who is trying to cut into your space, even though they're sitting in front of you or behind you? Yeah. A passenger was left shocked and revulsed after the traveler behind them allegedly stuck their hideous troll-like looking toes underneath their seat during an unspecified flight. The photograph of the footy nightmare has racked up 2,600 comments since it was posted last month. In the nausea-inducing photo, captioned "The Joys of International Travel," a stranger's bare feet can be seen protruding in between the photographer's own like a disgusting game of in-flight footsie. If that wasn't bad enough, the toes themselves are gnarled and misshapen with cracked, dirty, fungal nails. Oh, isn't that just a projectile to foot vomit right there? Suffice to say, people on Reddit were quick to hold the inconsiderate traveler's toes to the fire, those feet throwing some gang signs. Quick, one critic of the terrible tootsies. Another wrote, "It looks like a 4-year-old glued the toes onto the rest of his feet." Horrible. Absolutely horrible. I want to say a big thank you to everybody playing along in the Thought of the Dave today, which we do on Twitter and Facebook. We didn't get to it on the show. Big thank you to Shirky Poo for the amazing news section. You can find her on our website as well. And of course, everybody listening in to my rant on Sasquatch, which we call the Dave 101. And of course, Chris Reinhardt from Discover Sasquatch for an amazing show tonight. We got Mr. Ron Bumblefoot Thaw rocking in the background with Little Brother is Watching. Bumblefoot is the official music of Spaced Out Radio, rocking us in and out of every single show. Get your horns up for the guitar god himself. Special thanks to everybody listening in at home, at work, in your cars, wherever you may be. Thank you to everyone in our chat rooms tonight on YouTube, Twitch, LGAB, Revolution Radio, Spreaker, Facebook, the Space Travelers Club, and all you hiding around on Twitter at hashtag Spaced Out Radio. Remember, this show is copyright by Spaced Out Radio and SOR Media Ventures Limited. Thank you so much for choosing to share your evening with us, because together, my friends, we own the night. Mr. Bumblefoot, we need a favor. We need you to take us home. Yes, the Woo train has docked for the night. But soon, my friends, we shall ride again. Your seats are always available. Your tickets never expire. And if you want to bring a friend, we've got room for them too. Good night. Yeah, baby. Yeah. That was awesome. Take us all the way home, Twinkle Toes. Oh, God. Can't do that to me when I'm reading, man. I'm damn near cracked up there. Uh-huh. All right. That was a fun show. Fast show. Holy cow. Oh, that's a wrong page right there. We don't need that. We need that one. All right. Let's move that over here. Let's go like this here. That was a good show. Good show. How'd you like the rant? Good, bad, indifferent? Let me know. Let me know. I would take that omelet with lots of hot sauce for breakfast. We own the toes, according to Grandmaster. Why am I wearing my headphones? I don't need to wear these anymore. Thomas Rock, welcome to our channel. Thank you for joining us. I saw a bunch of other people. John Lemon, what's happening? I'd let you touch the beard, John. I'd let you touch the beard. I would. All right. Who else came in here late? Super Quest, did you have a good night at work tonight, buddy? Everything all safe? What grinds Dave's gears? Well, besides soccer, breakfast for dinner, comb overs, bad poutine. Yep, I've had some bad poutine. I wish it was Taco Bell time. There's gorgeous Jean Beckett. She likes big feet and she cannot lie. Look at Purpose and Grace. I thought this young lady, was going to be on my side. Nope. Look at that. She eats breakfast for dinner. Rotten apple, that's kind of sucky. Man buns are terrible. It shows signs of soccer in a man. Anybody who drives a Prius, shame on you. Probably listen to Coldplay too. Just like Corey Rudd, Nate Foot's son. Saw him throw a post. His own mom threw a post on his Facebook page the other day claiming, hey, Corey, you must be getting excited. It's almost Hallmark holiday season. Oh, okay. Purpose and Grace, she's back on the team. She mentioned it because it was something I don't like. That is very true. Everything. What's wrong with Priuses and Coldplay? Everything. You know what the saddest thing I ever seen was? I was driving from my house to Vancouver one day to go see my parents. And I passed this Prius. And the worst part about it is it had Texas license plates on it. So I called up my buddy Jamie in Texas and I said, what the hell is this? And his answer was, we kicked him out of Texas. I said, why'd you bring him to Canada? So that's not fair. Want to know something really cool? My son broke this guitar. He's been practicing so much, he broke this guitar. It needs some soldering. I got to get it fixed. B. Hoff, yes, and you are correct. That's all I will say about that person. Where is my logos here? Guest picks. There we go. Give me 2 seconds here. Then I'll catch up. 11:04. There's Reinhardt. Do 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 do. I suck at playing that guitar. I had a horrible guitar lesson today. I could not get my fingers to do anything. I practiced all week, couldn't get my fingers to do anything today. It sucked. I was so frustrated. Told my guitar teacher that I was just really pissed off. All right, there we go. Close that out, close that out, close that out. That over there. And now I can catch up here a little bit. He didn't say the full swear word, so I don't need to worry about that. He said, shit, oh, there's $20. So he got lucky. Oh, I suck at guitar. I suck at guitar. You know, I really thought I was making progress, and then I just realized that I still suck. I'm not giving up. Don't get me wrong. I'm not giving up. But I still suck at it. Watch out for Brazelhoff. He's not only a flat earther, but he plays guitars with reverse headstocks. Don't know if you could trust a guy like that. Oh, I'm not giving up, Lopro. No way. I mean, I made improvements. Good night, Fidgety Aura. I've totally made improvements, but I'm just frustrated right now. Practice tomorrow. My son, on the other hand, he is getting really good. I did not, Sovereign. I apologize. Just turn this off. I just lost all control today. Could not get my fingers to do anything that I wanted. Like literally, my mind went blank. Hey, crunch time. How you doing? Probably the beginning right there. Yeah. Zane Bishop, welcome to our channel. How you doing? Oh, I still enjoy playing and tinkering around. Totally do that. Just not good. Although I'm not defeated yet, I'm just down. I had a very cool moment with my boy the other day. He said to me, he goes, "Daddy, can we go see Metallica in concert?" You know, I don't normally swear in front of my child, but I'm like, "Fuck yes, son. Fuck yes." He was pretty pumped over that. Oh yeah, I've seen Metallica a couple times, but there's a couple bands I want my boy to see. I want him to see Guns N' Roses. I want him to see Metallica. I would love for him to see the Scorpions and Iron Maiden. He really wants to see Five Finger Death Punch, but I don't have the heart to tell him that they're terrible in concert. So I've heard. Tell you the one band that I haven't seen yet that I want to see in concert is Hailstorm. I love Lizzie Hale. She is incredible. Hey, the fedora wearing John Hudson. What's happening? Triumph hasn't toured in years. Which reminds me, I gotta take the strap off of this one. this one. This one's nice. What can we play here? What the fuck? There's my my whole symphony of destruction. Ready? Da, 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 da. I'm practicing. What am I practicing right now? What do we got? No, that ain't it. Yeah. That's all I know. Metallica Enter Sandman. It's got me working. My guitar teacher's got me working on this. Huh. It's all in timing. Yeah. Ah. That's it. That's all I got. What's the one I was learning today? Hold on, we'll find her here. I love it. Gotta love technology. I'm in the room where all my routers are, and I can't even get Wi-Fi on my phone in this room. It's ridiculous. Oh, not that.
That's what I'm learning right now. Fuck, I totally forgot this one. So wrong. Right. Oh, fuck off. I'm frustrated. Never mind. I suck. Fuck it. I hate this. I'll be back in a second. Just doing this crap here. Very true, John. Very true. Please don't confirm me with Julius Caesar, Bob Birkins, Contour, Cosmique, Julien Latour, Steve Roberts music. What's happening?
That's terrible, John. That makes me laugh. Thanks, buddy. You got a twisted mind, John. Hey, everybody. Chad Smith is here. We are all Chad Smith. I'm going to go over to his link. And I'm going to... Let's go here. YouTube. Chad Smith. Smith Podcast. There it is. I'm subscribed. Well, look at that. First video, 28 seconds. Second video, 11 minutes, 12 seconds. Third video, 1 hour, 2 minutes, 55 seconds. Oh, wow. That's awesome, buddy. You're moving on up. Now let's all get Chad to 100 subscribers here. How many people in this room so far? There's 130 in this room still. Let's just all go. Here, I'll put the link in here. Yeah, let's just all go over to Chad Smith's room and hit subscribe. See how many we could get them before I come out of here tonight. Go to bed. There we go. See how many we got here. 45. 49. Come on, we need 51 more. 130 people in our chat room right now. Everybody head over to Chad Smith's channel. Let's get him up to 100 tonight. Let's do it. What are we at now? 54. We need 46 more. 46 more. Come on, this is Chad Smith, people. The Chad Smith. This is a guy who only uses 3-ply toilet paper in his house. That's it. 3-ply. Nothing more, nothing less. Come on, Oob. We need you to subscribe. It's at 54. 55. Come on, we need 45 more. There's 124 of you in here now. Let's get them up to 100. There's the link once again. Click on that. If we get Chad Smith to 100, I will then push your channel, Sovereign Farts. $57, 43 more. We'll push yours too, D Swagger. Let's get Chad to 100 first. It's Chad Smith, people. The Chad Smith. I'm watching, Chad. Still at 57. $59. We need 41 more. We can do this. 116 people still watching. At 100 subscribers, Chad will autograph and send to you pieces of his 3-ply toilet paper. We all want that. We all want an autographed square of Chad Smith toilet paper. No, it's not used toilet paper. This is fresh. We're at 61. We need 39 more. 39 more. Fresh toilet paper, people. Fresh square of autographed Chad Smith toilet paper. It's on the line. What do we got now? 63. 37 more. We can do this. We could totally do this. Bim Jim will even throw in a month's supply of pine cones if you guys subscribe to Chad Smith's channel. Here's the link. Head on over. So not only do you get a square of Chad Smith's 3-ply toilet paper autograph, but you get a month's supply of Bim Jim's famous pine cones to help you out as well. Now, if that isn't a, oh, we're at 67. We need 33 more. Well, there's 114 in our room right now. Let's all go do it. Click on the link quickly, then come back or go to bed, one of the two. $69. We need 31 more. We can do this.
Bye.
Excuse me. What are we at now? 72. We need 28 more. We can do this. We're like a telethon. Keep going higher. What else can we offer? FAP will promise you that he will lend you pieces of his hair from his 46-inch head. Hey, Ed Clater, how you doing? Adam Cram, what is happening? Chad Smith will also throw in an autographed picture of his chest hair. Hey, Autumn Kelso, how are you? Welcome to our channel. Still on 72. 28 people. Come on, that's all we need. 28 people to subscribe. Still at 72. Look at Laura Elizabeth. She even woke up to sign up for Chad Smith, all because of the autographed piece of toilet paper. 3-ply. that she is going to get because of it. By the way, Laura, I was in on Halloween night. I clicked into StreamYard while I was trick-or-treating with my son to wish Steve a happy birthday, Steve Stockton, and nobody let me in. I was there for like 10 minutes and nobody let me in, so I hung up. Oh, he's up to 73. We need 27 more. Apparently the northern lights are out again tonight. It's cloudy here. That's done. Hey, co-create happy. All right. Here's the link. Peter Steins, how are you? Let's get over to the Chad Smith channel. KC, what's happening? All right, what are we at, Chad? 77. We need 23 more. That's half of our audience right now in our YouTube chat. We need just 23 more. $23 more. We can do this. Hey, it's the gorgeous and talented, not another Heather who hasn't been around here for a while. We've missed you. How you been? 22 more. Well, look at that smile on his channel there, guys. Look at that smile. You know, that's an award-winning smile. I mean, that is a I'm watching Pornhub and I've never seen Pornhub before type smile. What are we at here? Still at 78. Going once, going twice. Let's see. We're going to get stuck on 78 for tonight. There's 3 times I've updated. We're still at 78. Tomorrow night on the show, by the way, R. Keith Andrews. I think we're stuck. I think we're stuck for the night at 78. Well, it was a valiant effort. We came close. All right. The Woo Train is in full force tomorrow with R. Keith Andrews and the ET Connection. Do it the first Friday of every month. And, of course, yours truly will be here. And big thank you tonight to Stevie Franchise, Cat Chaser, Snakes on a UFO, Misty, and Ben for the amazing super chats. It's a great way to support what we do on this show on a nightly basis. Thank you to all the regulars who are in, especially some of those beautiful faces that haven't been in a while, like you, like not another Heather, for coming on in and saying hello. We've missed you. Thank you to all of our veterans out there who listen to us. You always have a safe home here on Spaced Out Radio. Remember, follow us on social media, on TikTok and Twitter at Spaced Out Radio, on Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show. My personal handles on Twitter and Instagram, both at Dave Scott, SOR. So let's have some fun. Let's say goodnight, and we'll see you all tomorrow night. Take care.